My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
O'Reilly. If you've got questions, O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Oh, brother, what a week. It's been a long week, man.
Yes, it has.
I don't know about you, but it's been a long week. And football last night may have gone back to normal because what should have happened actually happened. Of course, I lost a pick on that nonsense because I was like, nothing in football is footballing the way football should football. Yeah. So I'm going to choose the Patriots to win, thinking, aha, I'll show them. And then they showed me that football is starting to settle down in football like football is supposed to football. That is my hope. My wife has this theory that the Thursday night game, as it goes, the rest of the weekend will follow.
Really?
And so far, she's been right this year. So we're going to see. So I went back and I did some readjustments on my picks for Sunday, which are now more reasonable.
Hmm.
So we'll see if that works.
Meaning that you went back and you chose the Rams. I'm sorry, the Lions over the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's like
does Alex know that?
She does now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just picked as normal because I didn't want to overthink it or overreact to one.
Oh, I overthought it.
Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this twice. So I just did it the first time the way that I normally do it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is.
So I'm having issues with my computer today. It's I think Chrome has become corrupted. So I have to redo some things. I just don't have time to do it. But in its corruption, I feel naughty because I'm using the incognito mode. I don't usually ever use the incognito mode, but now that I'm using it, I do. I feel naughty. Do you feel naughty if you ever use like you're up to something? You know what I mean?
Can't say that I've ever used the incognito.
Oh. What was it really for, the incognito mode? Is it because for people who can't figure out a VPN or something? And it doesn't work, by the way.
No, because it doesn't protect you. It just stops your computer from saving certain information. So, if you don't want your history to have what you've been looking up, that's one way to do it. But the other thing that it does is it stops certain websites from also saving that information too, because your computer will save various bits of data on itself so that when you go back to the website, things load a little bit quicker. But if you don't want that stuff on your computer, you can use incognito and it doesn't keep it.
Well, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm not up to nothing ever. So
that's true. That's true.
I guess I don't generally ever have to. Right now, this is just a workaround to get my stuff I use for the show to work. So, okay. Well, it's good to know. Now at least I know because I always I see that little the little hat, the little eyes kind of looking over like this. I'm like, oh, that dude's up to something.
Yeah.
Incognito is up to something.
That's the reason why they made that the logo. They know what they're doing.
So here's the picks. I can't remember the ones I all completely changed, but I know I went ahead and chose the Colts over the Chicago, and I changed to Detroit over the Cardinals.
I'm really sorry to hear that. I mean, I thought for sure I had you talked into Cardinals over the Lions.
Seabass says, I don't think you should be able to do that, Jeffrey. You told us your picks on air yesterday. You should have to stand by that. What are you, a flip-flopper? No, I'm a human being who has the same rights that you do, which is to change your picks right up before game time. And I told you I did it. So,
And what's so wrong about getting new data and changing your mind? Why is that such a bad thing to say?
Am I not allowed to come to my senses?
Yeah. Like I learned a new thing that's changed the what I believe about the situation. So I'm going to make different decisions based on that. I think that's a good thing, actually.
No, don't worry, Forrest, to mention
we've always done it this way.
The picks I gave you, that I gave you, are still the picks that I'm riding with.
Mostly because Randy doesn't care enough to go back and change them.
Yeah, that's true. Also.
Even if he had an idea to, he wouldn't do it just out of sheer damn laziness.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you. But, for me, once I realized, okay, last night I was just like, I was almost like a cold splash of water in the face. I was like, what have I done? So here, let me see if I can see. So Seabass, listen, we've always done it this way all the time that we've done this. And I usually tell you guys when I change.
And everybody can do it. The listeners can do it. You can do it. As long as the game hasn't been played, go back and change your picks if you think it's going to be different. Like if there's a major injury or something like that, like, if I find out the Rams are going to be, or the Niners are going to be without Brock Purdy, I'm going back in there and I'm changing that pick. Obviously that changes everything.
So it's only 3 picks that I changed. It was, I am now taking the Colts over Chicago. I'm taking the Detroit Lions over Arizona, and I'm taking Baltimore over Dallas. I went ahead and rethought that one. But I don't think we even talked about it on air, but so full disclosure, Seabass. You can change your picks. I can change my picks anytime we want to before the games actually happen. So there. Moisman says he calls it incognito.
Wow.
Teacher lady, she sent over the quote of the day, but we'll do that towards the end of the show. Let's see. CK says you're fired. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Oh no, that was a 220. He was talking to Keon and Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you read that on air? You should clear those when you're done reading them.
Yeah, I didn't get to it. We had an interview, and then we had not a whole lot of show after that.
Wait, you have interviews on your betting show, Keon?
Yeah, with the CEO of Sport Trade, which is a new app coming to
What
Arizona.
the
You
heck?
may have heard the commercials.
I've heard something like that on the air.
My wife just texted me, "You changed your picks like me, eh?" I wasn't even aware of what your picks were. No, she says, except for Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals. Well, yeah.
Well,
So now you can tell why I didn't change mine like you. I didn't realize everybody's going to have a hard time with this. George is happy Friday, and he says, how about them New York Jets completely dominating the Patriots last night on the Thursday Night Football? We'll talk about that here in a second. The Jet says, happy Friday, my chuckling friends. Please pour me a double and go Huskers, he says. Yes, we will have Keon Rose's college football dance party later on in the show. I believe at 4:20 precisely, unless he forgets and I forget, then who knows what'll happen. Average Joe says, good afternoon. A question for you. Aside from the abusers and criminals, is Aaron Rodgers the least likable NFL player? Oof. Yes.
He's up there.
Just go right to the yes. I don't know who's more unlikable.
I'm trying
as
to
a
think.
Player.
Think that if you
You mean as just a straight up football player?
Yeah.
I don't
Football
think
player / human being that plays football.
Take the crime.
Deshaun Watson.
Anybody for whom crime
One
is,
of the Boses.
One of the Boses.
I can't really remember which one it is, but the one that's is not nice.
That'd be
him and his girlfriend or wife.
Nick. It might be Rodgers. I can't think of who else would it be. I mean,
question again is Aaron Rodgers, is he the least likable NFL player? I would say if you ask his teammates that, yes. I'm guessing.
I mean, it depends on the teammates, though. I mean,
the ones that get the ball probably like,
yeah,
I love this guy.
No, you ask Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is his best friend.
So anybody else?
I mean,
well, I said Deshaun Watson, but
yeah. Well, see, he's criminal.
He put the crime
he's an
stuff
abuser
to the
and
side.
criminal.
Yeah. Just in terms of sheer personality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I mean, Russell Wilson's cringy, but that's not
as unlikable.
Yeah,
right.
No,
Average Joe, I think you nailed it.
No, I think it
Aaron
might be
Rodgers.
Rodgers. I can't think of anybody who'd be worse
I'm
to be around.
Sure, there's like a lineman somewhere who's just
that we
really
just-
unpleasant, but
we're just not aware of.
we don't
but-
know it.
Yeah. No, I think that might be it.
It just that question just ground the entire show to a
No,
complete
just-
halt.
we're thinking.
It's a
And
good
we're all
question.
thinking.
It's a good
Yeah.
question.
But I think he led with the Butker. Moises
Harrison
says
Butker.
Harrison Butker
Is the least likable?
It depends on
Well, if you're a woman, I think you might.
misogynisticness, plus minus.
Well, if you're certain types of people, I suppose you wouldn't like what he said, but
Certain types, you mean like women who like rights? Okay.
he didn't say women don't have rights.
They have a right to get their ass in the kitchen, and if they don't, they're going to really regret it later in life. If they don't squirt out some pups, they're really missing the boat on what life is all about, according to Harrison Butker.
Okay.
So pretty unlikable, yeah. Is Aaron Rodgers?
I just
more
think
unlikable?
Aaron Rodgers is
He's
much more
universally
unlikable. Yeah.
unlikable.
Aaron Rodgers is still somehow in a league all unto himself in unlikability.
Just
I don't know.
the
A lot of
douche-master general.
A lot of people were, a lot of players on the field were high-fiving him and giving him hugs and things like that last night.
I mean, I expect his teammates to largely like him. He's going to be nice to them, but Aaron Rodgers, just in general,
Yeah, I mean, and
just-
outside of Aaron Rodgers, Harrison Butker, I'm really just not really caring for Gronk's commercials.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
just because he's not an unlikable person. He's just a bad actor.
Getting there. These commercials are so bad, and he's so dumb. I don't know if I can handle much more of it.
I don't know. To me, that's
He's-
not a.
Gronk's a big old goofy Saint
Well, I'm
Bernard.
just
That's
putting
what
him
he
at
is.
third place on my list. I'm not saying that
he's not
Hitler.
playing anymore. He's not playing anymore.
He's not. Well, he's still, NFL guy. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
If
with
you're
Gronk,
saying
it's
active
just-
players, okay.
I think that if you don't think too hard and drink a lot and you're hanging with Gronk, you'll probably be all right in terms of just having a good time.
Oh, Moist One says, what about diva wide receivers like Odell? Yeah, he'd be up on that list. Not. I don't know. He's a little annoying. He's a little bit. DK Metcalf had a moment. Antonio Brown, well, he's one of the abusers and one of the criminals. So,
but also Antonio Brown as a person, not a chance.
No.
You wouldn't enjoy spending any time with that dude.
Right, but the problem is he's an abuser and a criminal. He has,
that's what I'm saying. I'm putting
that threshold.
I'm putting aside your unlikability for those reasons. Even if Antonio Brown were not an abuser.
Well, then if you're
not you.
If you're taking former players and you're putting them in this category, what about Ben Roethlisberger?
Criminal, rapist.
Was he convicted on that? I didn't think he was convicted.
He may not have been convicted, but if you read it,
I know what he did was criminal. Yes, I'm not saying it was.
I don't believe he's innocent. I'm just going to say that.
I never said he was innocent. I just said he wasn't convicted.
Rapist.
Was he?
Okay. Criminal, rapist. The Jet says,
technically neither was Deshaun Watson.
Jet says, Jeffrey, do you know why a wedding dress is white? It's so your appliances match.
Is this Harrison Butker texting the show? What's
It's the Jet. And he says, Mrs. the Jet's riding with me and she just punched me in the gut. She should open a car door and push you out while it's moving.
Why would you're again, you have a lovely wife that loves football like you do. How on earth is it that you're just taking your
appliances? You mean like a toaster?
Or am I confusing him with
refrigerator?
I don't know.
Somebody else.
Jet's wife likes football.
Okay.
Baby got Dak. She's a gal who loves herself some football. She says Jalen Ramsey.
I guess you could say Jalen Ramsey. I think with Jalen Ramsey, he just hasn't been relevant in a little bit. So I just forgot all about him. I think I have to care a little for me to also think that you're an unlikable person. And I no longer care about Jalen Ramsey.
CK says any player who's been to a Diddy party. Well, okay, that transcends criminal and rapist type stuff. So no, we're not. We can't go there. 602 Pats fan says, did you know that the Patriots don't have a single O-line player that has played left tackle? You could tell me anything negative about what the Patriots are after last night, and I'd be like, I believe you. No, you're good. Yeah.
And that's the reason why you're not going to see very much Drake May this year. That offensive line, they basically said at the end of training camp, Drake May won this job. He's not starting, but he won this job. And that's because the offensive line is so bad. They're not putting the rookie behind that. Not a chance.
Did you see the look on his face at the end of the game? It was like utter relief. When the clock ran out, he was like,
man, they shouldn't send him out there at all if that's the case.
Well, it was garbage time, and so that the defense isn't going to be out there teeing off on him. And he still took 2 sacks.
Somebody might still try to murder him. 602 Pats fan says, I hope you're right, Keon, because that's how you get Mac Jones all over again.
Yeah.
T-Licious says, you want your dishwasher to match the stove in the fridge is what he was trying to say. That's why brides wear white. No, we got the joke, T-Licious. We got the joke.
Mm-hmm. Just didn't like the joke.
Silver Pop says, good afternoon, guys. Happy Friday. Most unlikable NFL mascots. The Colts blob of a horse. Are you kidding me?
That guy's cool.
He's awesome. And he smacks people in the face with cream pies all the time, Easy, Moist One. Whipped cream pies. Also, he says that nasty looking sea chicken. Most likable is the Jacksonville mascots. Well, what's the mascot for the Jacksonville
I don't know
Jaguars?
I don't know his name, but he's a goofy looking jaguar with is he wearing a hat?
Jackson the Jaguar. No, I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
He's like a yellow Chester cheetah from the Cheetos.
I like that.
But he's like gross looking. He's got a gross color to him. I'm sorry. Gross yellow. Ugh. Yeah. Oh God, there he is in a Speedo. Okay, we're done here. I know it's incognito mode, but I'm still closing that window.
Yeah, just go ahead and let that one go by.
Sorry, Silver Pops.
You don't have to swing at every pitch.
Wow.
That's
Bullseye says, if I recall correctly, I think you all picked the Patriots to win except for
Yes.
Randy, right?
No, I picked
No,
the,
Keon.
I picked the Jets.
Right. Randy and I
Yeah.
picked the Patriots. What was your
Yeah.
excuse? I was just drunk.
What was my excuse?
Yeah, why'd you pick the Patriots again?
I just thought the way the Jets looked in their last game and the way the Patriots looked in their last game, I just thought the Patriots were going to win.
602 Pats fan says, Randy, pour me a double shot of whiskey, please, so I can start my weekend.
I thought didn't I already pour a double?
No, that was for the Jet.
Ah.
Somebody else. Oh, the Donnie sent over a picture of the worst possible mascot, and it's this girl in purple wearing, I guess, with gold hair and locks or whatever. Oh no, that's a Viking. Never mind. I just thought it was some chick wearing purple. Yeah, that's pretty bad looking. That doesn't look good to me.
Some girl with
Yeah,
golden
like a little
locks.
ponytails. Just la, 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 la. I was like, she got a little hair in her lip there. I'll be honest. She's probably gonna want to get some tape or wax or something there. It's sad. That's a sad mascot right there. So today is National Queso Day. In case you care, even if you don't. National Queso Day. Now, queso is not just Spanish for cheese. It's it's a specific kind of cheese. Queso was invented in the 1900s, like 1900, back when Tex-Mex showed up in San Antonio. And but Velveeta was invented in 1918. So a lot of people will use Velveeta to make the queso. That's kind of an American thing, just because it's already kind of a goo. So, but it wasn't until 1935 that Little Mexico served up the first queso, they think, maybe. So that's around the time. So about 100 years we've had queso. So if you like the queso, today is the day. Today is the day. I was told the day was some else day, but I can't remember what it was. Like National Analyst Day. I don't know. Did anyone hear about that?
Wouldn't that be Keon?
He's not an analyst.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's an analyst.
Not that kind of analyst.
Oh.
They're talking about people who do numbers and stuff.
Like actual counting.
Huh.
I'm not really big on that. Personally.
Listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks, where things are with that, some other baseball things. You know, we're working our way back to NFL as we go, but we got some NBA. We have just all kinds of random sports stuff that we need to talk about. So come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL Week 3, the Arizona Cardinals home in Glendale Sunday as they take on the Detroit Lions. Both teams sitting at 1-1. The Cardinals are coming off a Week 2 victory against the LA Rams where Kyler Murray threw 4 touchdowns. But Lions quarterback Jared Goff, 8-1 all time against the Cardinals. Detroit is a 3-point road favorite, even money against the spread. The Cardinals getting 3 points at -120. On the money line, Detroit -150, Arizona +130, and the over-under is at 51.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1, and literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get a $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty. Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display. Plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more. All at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte. P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's UPORTE.com.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week. And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel. So what are you going to do, Ralph? I'm just going to be right all the time, like always. Whatever. It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday, starting in September at 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Last Optimist says that he likes to make queso with cheddar and sodium citrate and a little bit of beer. Says I've also been informed that today is pepperoni pizza day.
Ooh.
Is it? Okay. Just go with that.
Who doesn't like pepperoni pizza?
I don't think that's necessarily true, but I'd say just go for it. Why not? Why can't it be true? I mean, I didn't see that anywhere, but every day is pepperoni pizza day if you want it to be, because $5, go down to Little Caesars, grab yourself a pie, and you're done. Enjoy the day. Do you like the Little Caesars? Feel like
sometimes I do.
I feel like I could eat that every day and be okay.
Little Caesars, really?
Oh yeah. And I know a lot of people turn their noses up at it.
I don't turn my nose up at it. I like it. Miss Kim and I have Little Caesars very rarely, but on occasion. And I like the Barrows, though. When we go out to lunch at Barrows, I like that.
Oh, yeah, the Barrows. You know what? Barrows is good by the slice. I don't know if I want to buy a full one and have it at the house, because then I'll have to hear about how greasy it is.
Have you ever been to? Have either of you guys ever been to Grimaldi's?
I haven't, but I've been told it was good.
Million years ago. It's been a million years.
Miss Kim and I went on a date last Friday night, and we went to Grimaldi's. Okay, it cost me $70, so everything got real expensive. But I like. But if you like a thin crust pizza, Grimaldi's is really good.
You know who else is expensive?
Yeah,
expensive and tasty is Oregano's.
Oregano's is good. Yeah.
Took me a while to remember the name though. That's how I try to avoid the place, because it's expensive.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be, for a couple of drinks, a pizza, and a salad. It was like $70.
That is obnoxious.
Isn't it crazy?
Truly, truly obnoxious. But what are you going to do? I mean, you got to go out on a date every now and then, right?
Oh yeah, it was so refreshing to get out. Just get out of the environment.
She enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
told you about it when she got back.
Oh yeah, she did.
Really nice.
She filled me in. I was really happy for her. Yeah.
888-368-1580. So let's take a look now at the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're playing the Brewers, who they beat in the first game.
Oh yeah.
Usually we don't win a game until the last game of a 3-game series lately. So it was nice to beat the Brewers straight away. And, well, of course, they're favored tonight. The betting lines, the money lines, the spread, everything is in their favor. So Zach Gallen is on the mound. They got Colin Ray. So what are you saying, Randy?
Well, I think tonight another good opportunity for the Diamondbacks to continue their winning ways. The Brewers are probably going to be a little sluggish. They're going to try a few things because they've already clinched a spot in the playoffs. They've already taken their spot atop the NL Central, so they'll be going to the playoffs. The Diamondbacks need to keep fighting, though. They're 2 games behind the Padres in the wild card right now. And tonight we've got the milkman on the hill. Good news for the Diamondbacks from last night's game. Brandon Pfaadt, 12 Ks, 12 strikeouts.
Way to go, Fat Brandon.
In 7 innings, and he only gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. Boy, he is in playoff mode. And it looks like the Diamondbacks offense started to come back alive. You had Ketel Marte that was 1 for 4. Jock Peterson got hits. Randall Grichuk, Pavin Smith, Jake McCarthy. It looks like the bats are coming alive. And it was really good to get Gabriel Moreno back. And also coming back, I understand today, is old purple hair himself, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He'll be returning to the Diamondbacks, so that's good news. We're still waiting on some more news with Merrill Kelly, but I suffice it to say, the Diamondbacks need to win this series at least, if not sweep, and move on to take on the Giants and then finish strong against the Padres. You can't afford to give up any more room. You've got the New York Mets who are going to lock into the 3rd spot, it seems like, although they've got a great series going on with the Phillies. So anything can happen there. I mean, the Mets could lose out. And then, of course, the Yankees have clinched their spot. They look like they're going to be strong. I think the Orioles will probably clinch a playoff spot. I know I'm going way up, but this is the funniest time of the year for baseball. This is where it gets really exciting. Anyway, Snakes tonight, Zach Gallen on the hill against Milwaukee in Milwaukee, and we need to get a win here.
Definitely need to get the win. Every win we can possibly get.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're not locked into being in a wild card, are we?
We're not locked in yet, no, but we are firmly in 2nd place. We don't want to lose ground to the Mets. And like I say, the Mets are playing the Phillies, I think, in a 3-game series, and I think it's in Philadelphia. I'm probably wrong there. I usually am, but that's going to be a pivotal series for the Mets. They need to win, and Philadelphia is trying to position themselves as the number 1 team in the NL against the Dodgers. So the Phillies are also motivated to win. So should be a good weekend of baseball.
All right. Good to know. It was a good night of baseball last night. It happened when we were on the air, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it much. Shohei Ohtani, now the first 50-50 player in Major League Baseball history. Can you tell us, what does that mean? I know that 40-40 was a big deal back in the day, but now he's the first one who's 50-50. I know. Wait, what is 50 stolen bases, 50 home runs? Is that
exactly?
What it is?
He hit his 50th home run last night. I think in his 51st. I think he had 2 home runs last night. He also did a little history last night by hitting 2 home runs and stealing 2 or 3 bases last night. He's the first guy to do that in a game, in a clinching game. The Dodgers, of course, clinching a playoff spot and probably will clinch the West with no problem here in the next few days. But the 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Nobody in baseball's done that. You might as well, even though there's been a lot of worthy contenders for the MVP. Ketel Marte, our very own Ketel Marte, being one of them. What's his name? Shortstop for the Mets. He's had a brilliant year. But Shohei Ohtani, I mean, the writers are already in love with this guy, and him being the first 50-50 guy, they're going to give him the NL MVP. Just go ahead and mark it down.
And it being in a game where he was 6 for 6 at the plate, 10 RBI, 2 homers, couple of stolen bases, like that. Yeah. That's the kind of performance that sticks in your mind anyway. But sports writers already liking him, like that performance is going to stand out when they think about who the MVP is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the fan who caught the ball, they come over. Here's what happens when you catch a historic ball. Usually a member of the support team for the team comes over and tries to bribe you with some stuff. Sometimes it's good stuff. Sometimes it's not good stuff. Whatever it wasn't enough because the fan who caught that ball has decided to go ahead and keep that ball, which is wise because Aaron Judge's 60-second home run ball sold for $1.5 million in 2022. Mark McGuire's dirty, steroid 70th home run ball sold for $3 million, and they knew he did steroids.
Yeah,
and then
it was still impressive.
Pujols, his 700th home run ball sold for $360,000. So the 50-50 ball, wonder what it'll go for. Everybody loves some Shohei Ohtani, so you got to think what. You got to think it's going to be 7 figures, right?
Yeah, I would imagine easy. Yeah, at least $1 million, if not more. So
yeah, if you ever catch a historic ball, hold on to it. Don't take anything they offer. Why? Because they're going to come back again. You can, you can work that ball into a better value, either in a trade with something for the team or money. Think I'd keep it and wait for the money. But also you got to be careful because sometimes, hey, I got the 50th ball. Somebody else is like, well, I got the 51st ball, and you're like, oh, well, that ball's probably worth more than this ball, right? But this is the ball that broke the record. But then that ball,
the 50-50 ball is going to be worth more than anything else because that's the record breaker.
The 50-50 ball is worth more than the 51-51 ball.
Absolutely,
because it actually broke the record.
So somebody had 49-49.
I don't know if anybody's ever had 49-49, but nobody has accomplished 50 and 50, especially in a game where you're 6 for 6 with stolen base. I mean, all of that stuff. And every ballpark, you can take that ball. So that fan can take that ball and have it authenticated. Major League Baseball, and it was and especially if it's a 50-50 ball, you get your picture taken with it. And you go and get that authenticated right there. Instantly, you've locked in the value to that baseball.
Yeah, you got to be careful because they'll come and try to manipulate you. They're like, "Hey, Shohei told us that he really wants to meet you, and he really wants to have that ball." Blah 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 blah. You're like, no.
Yeah,
afraid not. Tell Shohei in Japanese, get used to disappointment because I'm not giving you this ball.
Tell Shohei for $3 million. He can
how about this? I'll learn Japanese so I can tell him myself.
I mean, he's got enough money where you could just come over here and give me $3 million right now.
Absolutely.
Because, obviously he doesn't notice when money is missing.
Oh, no.
Let's bring it over here. We're good.
What's a few more million?
Right. He'll see the ball in his mantelpiece, but that money, he don't care.
Nah.
Anyway, so good on that fan. Get as much as you can for it. But listen, the most you're going to get for it is not going to come from the team. The most you're going to get for that is going to come from the pocketbook of somebody who has more money than sense.
Yeah. Private citizen, private collector, probably.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of more money than sense, Joel Embiid and the Sixers now have a 3-year, $192 million extension. Keon,
wow.
What are the Sixers? Is that a good deal for the Sixers? Is that it? Was it, they have to thing? Because a lot of times I'll ask you that, and you're like, they had to.
Yeah, this feels like a you had to because this is just the truth about the NBA. In the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you probably can't win a Super Bowl. In the NBA, if you don't have a top 20 player in the league, you're probably not even competing for a conference title. And if you have 2 of them, that probably gets you closer to an actual championship. So Joel Embiid is one of those guys when he's healthy. That's the thing, though. It's when he's healthy. And that's what has to scare you a little bit about the amount of money on this deal.
I was just going to ask you that. I mean, what about his injuries? What about his health history recently? I mean, I know he's a quality player, and I know when he's not injured, he's well worth the money. But
yeah,
wow,
it's one of those. It feels like you have to because you don't have a top 20 player. You're not doing anything, and quite frankly, sometimes that number is closer to having a top 15 guy, or you're not doing anything. And Embiid, when healthy, is one of those guys. But the big issue for him is that right around the second round of the playoffs is when he's at his most injured it feels like every year. And like, that's a lot of money to spend to be knocked out of the playoffs in the second round annually. They got to get at least one good run out of him for this to feel worth it, or they're going to look back on this contract and maybe even regret it a little bit.
Well, whatever happens, 3 years. It's only going to take him 3 years to make that much money. 3 years, $200 million.
Yeah. I mean, and the NBA's got kind of a funny money situation going on where the cap being a soft cap means that teams feel like they've got a little bit more wiggle room if they're willing to spend over, the first or the second apron. You got to have your stars. They did it.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to do anything but the NBA. I mean, it's just like, $200 million for 3 years.
I have no children.
NFL.
But if I had a child, you're not playing football. You're playing basketball.
Yeah, but it's harder to get to that money in the basketball. It's not as hard in the NFL, but it's hard. It's all hard.
It's probably easier to make the league in the NFL because the rosters are bigger and there are more positions. But the highest paid football players don't make as much money as some of the lower paid NBA guys. Like, there are guys that aren't as valuable as top corners and top receivers that are making money as 3-and-D guys in the NBA. I shoot threes and I play defense. That's all I do. That's crazy to me. Even if you're just an okay NBA player, you're probably still making more money.
Yeah, I would love to be the worst NBA player anywhere on a roster and still make a lot of money.
You're still doing all right. Yeah. Like, so Bronny's going to make like $1 million.
Yeah,
and he may never play.
Money. That is daddy money right there. That's
his dad got him in there, but the rookie scale for his deal is more than what most rookies in the NFL are going to have guaranteed.
We got to take a break. When we come back, your people in Congress. Do you know who your congressman is, Randy?
I don't.
Do you know who your congressman is, Keon?
I'm very sad to say that I don't know that.
Does Dylan Cohen know who his congressman is? Because he's going to want to know when I tell you what Congress is up to when it comes to sports betting. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona to make minus 110 odds obsolete. Search Sport Trade Wells to see the great prices Sport Trade players are getting in real time.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed a law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium Saturday, October 5th, when they take on Big 12 rival Kansas. Swoboda throws, intercepted by Piaseu. Cyrus Piaseu is going to take it all the way in for an Arizona State touchdown. A pick six for San Diego State transfer Cyrus Piaseu. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
A new app called Sport Trade is coming to Arizona to make in-play bets instantly. No more spinny wheel. Search Sport Trade Wells to see the great prices Sport Trade players are getting in real time.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
It's the sound of the fight songs, the excitement of the rivalries. It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls. It's the national rankings. College football is coming. Listen for it on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Let's clear out the text line here, and then we'll get to that story about Congress is up with your sports betting. Moist One says, can thank Manfred for the inflated stolen base stats, but Otani no doubt deserves MVP, he says. T-Licious says, 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 doubles and a single, 4 scores run, 2 stolen bases, and 10 RBI. That's his stat line just last night. Big George says Joke will be on that guy when Shohei gets to the 55-55 club. See what I'm saying? Is that something that would make his ball worth less than the 50-50?
Not if he sells it before that happens.
Well,
but also
could be
like
days.
I don't know that would make it worth less to me, because like 55-55's never been done, but 50-50's never been done either. There's only one guy that's ever done that, and you have the baseball from when that happened.
How do you play this then? You want to make sure you get the full amount you can get for it.
I don't know exactly how you'd play it, but I wouldn't be too worried about rushing to it, because I think the only way that you could really feel rushed is if a second person were going to do 55 or we're going to do 50-50, then all of a sudden the 55-55 becomes much more special. But I don't see anybody getting close to that.
Somebody who knows these things, which one is more special, the 50-50 or the 55-55?
I would say the 50-50.
That because that's still the new
that's the barrier.
Territory. Yeah.
That's the barrier right
All
there.
right. So let's say there is a threat of 55-55 coming. What would be the minimum you would sell the 50-50 ball for? Because here's what I think the person in the ball should immediately say, it's for sale. What do you got to offer? And let the offers start coming in. Now, if he gets a $2 million offer, here it is, sold. Don't hang on to that thing as you're trying, to see maybe not on the next balls. I don't know.
I just don't think the next ones are going to overshadow this one.
You wouldn't take $2 million?
I would
today.
take $2 million, but if I could get more than $2 million, why would I rush that?
You don't know. That's the thing. It's the great unknown. So you have to set a price where you're like, okay, anybody has this, you can have it.
I guess I just don't see 55-55 as being this. And like, that's the thing, is if you're the kind of person that's knows collectors and know what they value, but
once he sets the record, that's the number, right? 55-55 is worth more than
but it's not, because there's still only one person in each club.
Okay, I need you to tell me who had 49-49, because I feel like nobody had 49-49 either.
No, well, in large part because people are counting these things and they're counting it by the tens. That's the reason why 50-50 is so important, because nobody cared about 49-49. That's still in the 40-40 club.
So 60-60 is what we're looking at.
So think about this, Jeffrey. Hank Aaron, when he broke Babe Ruth's home run record at 714, he hit 715. That I'm sure that ball went for an amazing amount of price, even though Hank Aaron hit 755 home runs in his career. Okay. And then Barry Bonds came along and he steroided out and broke Hank Aaron's record. That ball sold for an amazing amount of money, even though Barry Bonds had more than that. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter who had 49 and 49. It's 50-50 is the milestone. And he broke 50-50 last night. So even if he ends up with, 57 and 58, home runs and stolen bases, doesn't matter. 50 is the milestone. Somebody has set 50 as the milestone. Nobody's done it before. And so that's going to be the one that sells for the most.
But nobody's done 51 either. Or 52.
Nobody's done 755 for Hank Aaron.
People are less impressed by you beating your own high score by one every time than you beating everyone's high score totally. And that's the 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about the 52-52 more than the 50-50.
Can I tell you that's aggravating? Because here's what I see.
Okay.
The ball that should be worth the most is the one that has the current record, that has set the record, which will probably stand for quite some time. That ball, to me, is more valuable than the 50-50, the 53 ball, or whatever it ends up being for Shohei Ohtani here at the season end.
I'm just telling you that, I agree with Randy. The way that it has generally worked is if you break the barrier, breaking the barrier is the thing that gets people's attention more than you beating your own score again later.
But what was the barrier, really? What was the actual barrier? What was the current record before that? That was, listen, it's my OCD. Just forgive me. If this is the way it is, and that's fine, that's the way it is. So the dude with the 50-50 ball, hold on to it, and is not going to go down in value. Because, George, you're right. There's no way this guy is going to go to 60-60. There's not enough time left for that, is there? Of course.
There's 9 games left. I don't think so.
Well, there's 9 games left. And is he going to hit it? Who knows? I'm just saying that he's resetting the record now. The record before was 50-50. He broke the record. Nobody else has accomplished that. That ball, now whatever he ends with, that's the new record. If it's 55 and 57, that's the new record. And if a guy has a season of 55 home runs and 57 stolen bases and he breaks it, now that's a new record.
Is the next guy and his ball at 58? Is that or does it have to get to 60 before it's worth anything? I just don't understand this.
Well, the single season record for home runs, I believe, is 73. I think that's Barry Bonds.
Well, I know, but 73 home runs, 73 stolen bases.
So Shohei Ohtani is still not even close to the single season home run record.
New texter on the text line, 7012, says, hell yeah, Ohtani MVP. Just wait till he pitches again. Boy, you're in trouble then. Love the show. Hey, by the way, I agree with you, Jeffrey. He made the new record. It's just my OCD, but if that's just the way they do things, then Mr. 50-50 ball, hold on to that because it's not going to get less valuable. I would think it would be less valuable the minute there was a farther along ball, but what do I know? CK says, Jeffrey, you're overthinking it. 55-55 is still in the 50-50 club. The next club above 50-50 would be the 60-60 club. I'd like to get a club and beat you over the head with it because I'm telling you right now, that bothers me. You might be okay with it, but I'm not okay with it, CK. But it doesn't matter. Nobody cares what I think. Chief Skull says, the real question is which player in baseball does Tanya Harding to Ohtani Kerrigan there? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to just take a whack at his leg. It's too late for that now. A random texter says, I think the 50-50 ball carries more of a price because they both happened in the same game. What's the possibility that 55-55 doesn't happen in the same game or even the 60-60? Okay, so now it has to happen in the same game? Yeah, okay.
It's just extra impressive. It doesn't have to. You got to remove the rules from it and just go, what are people genuinely impressed by? The first thing that they see, the first barrier that gets broken. And if a barrier gets broken and it's like, oh, you did 2 of them in one game, because some people get into the 40-40 club, for instance. Some people got into the 40-40 club because, they had 40 home runs by one game, and then they got 40 in another game. The fact that it happened in one game just is probably more impressive to people. That and the overall performance of the game, I think that could be a factor.
Slow-Mo Zoe says, will the Baseball Hall of Fame buy that ball? Probably not the amount of money that it's probably going to command. If it's over $1 million, I don't know. Do they do that? I think people own it and then it's on loan from so-and-so. and probably heavily insured to the value of which they purchased it. So Heavy Metal Maniac says testing. Got a new phone. Just want to make sure that this is 1580 with an NA. What? Well, I can't understand what you're texting, Heavy Metal Maniacs, but yes, your text did get through for what it's worth. Harry Soap says, I'd sell that 50-50 ball for $2 million, then add $3 million just so I can say I fleeced the Dodgers. Major League Baseball has been fleecing all of us for how many years? Take your turn, pal. You got the ball. Take your turn. Big George says, for the record, Jose Canseco was the first member of the 40-40 club, so not sure what his home run ball went for. Let's see. Did they put his uniform in the Hall of Fame like Kyler Murray's? Yeah, I saw that he changed. Well, maybe they did. They probably did, yeah.
Well, they took some items. I think it's his batting gloves and maybe his uniform, maybe his cleats, and probably a bat or the bat, and they put that in the Hall of Fame. But the baseball's not going to make it because the fans holding on to it, and I think he should.
Yep. Chief Skull says each ball will have a value above the 50-50 ball, but the one that will be valued as much as the 50-50 ball will be the ball the record sits at the end of the season, says Chief Skull. Mr. Wilbur says, but why? Tell me why, damn it. Why does he have to be a Dodger? Could have been any other team. Well, except for the Yankees. But
because the Dodgers have all the money. Them and the Yankees.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
No, I agree on that part. I do agree on that part. So we're running out of time in this hour, but I think I can at least start this conversation. So pay attention, Keon. I don't know what this will mean to, excuse me. It's not the cough part. Sorry. I really got to get a mute button.
Wow.
One of these days I'll get a mute button. Anyway, so Beat the Book with Dylan Cohen, which is on at 2 p.m. Monday through Friday here on 1580 The Fanatic. Keon is on that show. I don't know what this is going to do, if it does anything, but there is a proposed federal law that is targeting gambling ads and in-game betting. There's a bill that's been proposed by 2 members of Congress. If passed, if signed into law, will restrict gambling advertisements and eliminate live in-game betting.
Oh, well, that changes a lot of things.
Why would you do this? There's an article that said that the NFL and the NBA see positives and negatives in the law. So they're not like standing up and raging against it like maybe they should, but getting rid of live in-game betting, yeah, I feel like that's a negative. And saying that they can't advertise, the sports books can't advertise between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. during live sports broadcasts. So that means during games or sports talk shows?
I think that's games.
And no more prop bets for college players.
Which, okay, that there's obviously we've seen some college stuff get kind of hinky with not just players but coaches involved in trying to manipulate those numbers too. So maybe there's something to that. But with the in-game stuff, like that's just insanely lucrative for a lot of these sports leagues. And so you take away that, I don't know what that does to, FanDuel or DraftKings or one of the big sports betting apps. And
well, they'll lose hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what it's going to do to it.
The NFL hasn't spoke up about this yet, but I feel like that juggernaut, the NFL, the NBA, the Major League Baseball, they will all oppose this because they are all making money off this. You start putting live sports books in arenas and you start setting up in-game betting on the field through the arena. Now you're cutting into their bottom line. Now you're messing with their money. So I'm surprised the NFL hasn't already spoke up about this. But yeah, I mean,
and it's
this
possible
could be really bad for betting.
I don't think that the NFL is going to speak up about it necessarily because it's still in the early phases of it, and I think that they want to do some lobbying behind the scenes. Like the sports betting lobby is pretty powerful. They have a lot of money and a lot of lawyers that they can throw at the problem and specifically at various politicians. So we'll see how it goes.
Let me give you some hope. Let me give you some clarity. I have been sitting around waiting for the Sunshine Protection Act to pass for like 5 years. That has been sitting there. It passes the House. It doesn't go through whatever, the Congress, whatever.
Yep.
And it just never take it the rest of the way. That thing is just sort of flopped around like a dead fish for how long? So same could happen to this, but yeah, when you see something like that affects your sports betting, your fun, your ability to make money, whether you're the NFL or a guy sitting on his couch, I think you got to. Okay, don't light the torches, but get them ready because we might have to go out in the street with some torches.
We might have to ride at dawn. Yeah.
Anyway, so you might want to look that up.
Good to know. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 1 hour down. We got 2 to go. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, we've got exciting news. Beat the Book is now on daily from 2 to 3 p.m.
That's right. Just before the Blender, we're going to explore the world of betting along with you on the text line.
Send us your betting comments and questions. Speaking of which, Dylan, what do you think if I throw down $20 on my Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl? They're 120 to 1.
I don't know about that one, Keon.
You got a better idea, Mr. Beat the Book?
Of course I do. Just tune into The Fanatic. You've always got better ideas.
So join us for Beat the Book, now at 2 p.m. daily on The Fanatic. Brought to you by Sport Trade, a new app coming soon to Arizona.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game in a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit TalkNowAZ.com, because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Man, I don't know what just happened to my Google Chrome, but it has just made a mess of everything. I think I've lost all my passwords.
Chrome's been acting up this week in general. I don't think it's just you.
Nothing is working. But see, I made the mistake. I should have exported all my passwords and all my stuff into an Excel file so I could bring them back. I just started clearing stuff out, going, I got to make this work. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know any of my passwords. Oh, jeez. Hey, so not bright on my part. But
It happens.
oh well, we all have problems, right? So life goes on. Listen, we were talking about the fact that a couple of congressmen have decided to put a bill in that would stop in-game betting, would stop advertising when it came to the sports books during live sporting events and stuff like that. That's a whole lot of not fun for us, and that's a whole lot of money lost for the giants of the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball.
I don't understand the not advertising during games business.
Neither do I.
I don't understand.
Genuinely feels like just the way that the everything is listed together. This genuinely feels like a bid of let's help people with impulse control, because the people who apparently are ruining themselves. It's an impulsive middle of a game kind of bet that they're doing, and then of course the advertising during it is in the event that you hadn't remembered that you could bet in a game while you're watching a game. Let's not remind you.
I don't know.
I'm not thrilled about it either. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes and go, what could they be thinking that they're preventing by doing this?
Yeah, I feel like there'll be enough people to stand up against this, because these would have been the same kind of Congress people that would have said, I'm voting no on the ability to have sport betting at all. So hopefully there's a majority that can put an end to this. 7012 says, I hope not, because live betting is where I make my money. All right, 7012, you've been texting in since 3:44. We're going to need you to get a text or nickname now. I don't know how long you've listened to the show. We can help you with some ideas, or you tell us a little bit about yourself, and we can kind of come up with some stuff. Or if there's just a nickname you've always wanted for yourself your entire life, this is your one chance where you get to pick your own. So let me know. Random Texter says, it's funny that Congress is trying to stymie in betting. They have no problem with insider trading.
Well, when you're the ones doing it, you
Right.
tend not to have a problem with it. So
yeah, it's true.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, what do you guys think the chances are that the Arizona Diamondbacks will stay in Arizona, with all the garbage going on with their stadium right now?
Well, I mean, it's the same old song and dance with the county, and I think the Diamondbacks, if they're pushed to the limit, they will. They have plans already drawn up, and they've got a parcel of land out there by where their spring training facility is, and they will go ahead and figure out how to build a new a stadium out there and move out there and leave that giant, a cavernous stadium in downtown Phoenix to fall apart, I guess.
Yeah, but I like the Bob.
Well, I do too.
Isn't it
I'm not
better
saying
for them just to fix stuff.
Well, you don't think that a sports owner is going to fix anything, do you?
Not by himself, anyway.
Not with his own money, do you?
They want some buy-in from the city.
How about maybe that's a better thing for congressmen to be bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? Instead of killing off sports betting, why don't we make it a thing where public funds may not be used to build a billionaire a place where he can make more money? I mean, maybe they are required. Maybe they can put in a quarter of it
now,
but not all of it, or 10% of it, not all of it. But the billionaire has to foot the bill.
Jeffrey, you're saying all of these things that make sense. Why would you assume that would go through?
Because someday I will be your emperor, and I will make it so.
Because you're not wrong. But it ain't happening.
You don't think that Mr. Kendricks and the rest of the group that own the Diamondbacks are going to put any of their money in, do you?
No, they're cheap bastards. Seabass says, if you want the Sunshine Protection Act passed, Jeffrey, vote for RFK Jr. He said it would be one of his first acts as president, along with cleaning up the FDA. Over. Yeah, so then now that makes me feel bad. Just because I want a thing and he wants a thing We are not the same. Ringless Joe says the Lions will arrive in the Valley soon, and I need them to end the Cardinals' upstart dreams on Sunday.
Huh.
Well, they probably will. Let's see. 7012 wants to hear some suggestions, but we got to know more about you to hear suggestions, or else you're just going to get some random stuff. 602 Pats fan says, woo! Jeffrey for Emperor. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Chief Skull says, I hope the Diamondbacks move out of the training facility. It's closer to where I live. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, I read that wrong. I hope the Diamondbacks move out by the training facility because that is closer to where I live.
It would be very convenient for you. Yeah.
Well, it's not about your convenience. It's not about Randy's convenience. It's about my convenience. And I think in the center part is everyone's convenience.
Here we go.
It's I don't know.
Where it is now, I feel like that's fair. But if it's going to go anywhere, then, some maybe in the, the 101 and the 202 meet there in Scottsdale, that right there would be nice and centrally located as well. I think that's fair. More fair for me.
Yeah, that's
but fair. Sir Drives a Lot says county owns the building. Let them go build a new private ballpark somewhere else. What a shame.
I think they could get funds from the Indian reservation out there. The Indian community out there is willing to throw in.
What happens to the Bob? They're just going to just let it crumble and fall?
Yeah, well, I mean, the county doesn't. They don't think that the Diamondbacks are being fair about how much money they're putting in. The Diamondbacks don't think the county is. They think the county is being, too demanding on what they want from the ball club. So sides can't come and meet. So Salt River Pima Indian community out there is waiting for the Diamondbacks to show up, and they're going to put a shiny new stadium up for them.
I mean, where exactly is this?
It's out there. It's right out there in that land. Across from the stadium, the spring training facility.
Where's that?
It's like on the other side of the 101 over by like where the aquarium is around.
In north of where I was talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I guess that'll work. Lost Toby says, here's your new thing. Make owners pay again. Yeah, we'll have MAPA hats. Make owners pay again.
Yeah.
Chosen Ones, good afternoon, gentlemen. Diamondbacks have put $100 million into the park already. Needs $400 to $500 million more, and their lease is up. In any other commercial lease, the owner of the real estate is typically on the hook for improvements, or at least the lion's share. Not always true. That's not always true, Chosen One. And so the Diamondbacks put up $100 million. You know how much they should put up? All of it. It's their park. They should pay for what needs to be done.
Well,
county gives them a tax break. They put up the money for this. Everybody wins.
I think they should at least split it.
I don't know about that. Don't know about that. I will fight you, Randy.
You always say that. We never do. We end up smoking a cigar and drinking whiskey.
There's priorities.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, Chase Field is owned by the county. So.
Oh. Well, paint the place, I'm
kind
of like
the idea
your landlord isn't going to give you new carpet every time you sign a lease.
Yeah,
maybe a little paint, maybe a little.
Yeah, but like the county, but like being told you need to renovate your own building is kind of crazy because like they have concerts there, they have, you know what I mean? Like there are other things that they do there that the Diamondbacks do not make money on. So,
Hey,
50-50 because the Diamondbacks primarily use it, but fix your building.
Maricopa County, I think you probably, I tried. You need to take care of this.
Fix your building. Yeah, no, Jeffrey tried.
He
went to bat for you, but
they just went to full slumlord now.
There's the bowl game there. It used to be the Cheez-It Bowl. Now it's something else. There's the motocross race every January. There's monster trucks. There's concerts. Yeah, man.
Like I was not aware that the county fully owned that building.
Yeah, that's who built it. Yeah, on taxpayers' backs.
See, that's just a tricky way.
And then the Diamondbacks were like, we'll lease it. And yeah, obviously you build these things with the hope that you will be able to convince a major sports team to use it most of the time, because that's where most of your money's coming from. But if there are other things coming from that park that the Diamondbacks don't split with the county, like if they're not splitting the concert money, the monster truck money, like Randy said, the bowl game, if they're not splitting that stuff and the county is the one that makes the money from everything that happens in that building that's not Diamondbacks related, they should fix their building.
Yeah, I thought that this was one of those things where, the Diamondbacks were just partners. Now I just found out that they are tenants. Well, that does change a few things, but so what they need is some new carpet, fresh coat of paint, and that should be it. That's all I ever got anytime I renewed a lease from my apartment. Bruno Baller says, Randy, does the NASCAR championship come through Arizona again this November?
Yes, it does.
Damn right it does. And it'll be here on 1580 The Fanatic.
And I believe next November, too, it's been announced.
Heavy Metal Maniac says the Maricopa County Sports has had control of that stadium since day one. They're the ones that should be fixing it, at least going on. It's together. I don't know what the rest of that means, but I agree.
Since I think it's not now. I could be wrong here with the date, like 1993 or 94.
Later than that, I think.
I think it's 94 because it says here on the AZ Central.
They started building it, I think. In
yeah,
94.
but like 93, it was voted to go ahead and approve a half-penny tax and on the people of Maricopa County. So ever since then, we have been paying a half a penny tax, and it was supposed to all go to building the Bank One ballpark and to maintaining the Bank One ballpark. I'd like to know where all of that money has gone. Half a penny tax since 1993 or 4. I can't remember exactly when.
Do you think that they have pulled away that penny tax? I'm betting that penny tax is still in existence.
No. Yes, it's still in existence.
And it's still generating that money.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
They should make it right. They should absolutely make it right. So now I know all this. Yeah, no, I'm your guys. I've come over across the line. I'm like,
the 13th,
the little piece of information there I didn't have.
In the majors right now. So, if you need to renovate.
Chief Skull says, build a new stadium where seats are a little wider and there's more leg room. To heck with a pee pool.
Listen. I was at Chase Field earlier this week. My knee still hurts from I can't stretch my legs anywhere.
They don't care about your legs.
Oh,
they
not at all.
Want to put as many people in there as they can.
Not at all.
Hey, T-Licious went and got himself some Little Caesars pizza right there. Yeah.
Yeah, congrats.
Well done. Horn Ninja says, afternoon, gents. I think it's bull that transplants with allegiances to other sports teams will have to foot the bill for teams that we don't follow. Kendrick's a billionaire. Shame on him.
I mean, you foot the bill for lots of things that you don't directly participate in.
Transplants. The Diamondbacks originated here.
Yeah, he's talking about people who live
he's
here.
Talking about your liver.
People
is that what he's talking about?
He's talking
my
about
liver?
Your liver.
How dare him talk about my liver?
No,
Born Ninja is very presumptuous to talk about your liver.
People who moved here that don't support the Diamondbacks, it's all right. It's an event center. If you've ever gone to a concert at Chase Field, that's what you actually paid for.
I didn't.
Well, I mean, not you specifically, but like if that's the kind of stuff that you're paying for. The Diamondbacks did not. They are leasing the building, so it's not their building.
Bear Claw says maybe the Diamondbacks should move to Utah, like the hockey team. You shut your mouth.
Well, no, they're actually well run, so they have a backup plan that'll work.
Swave Day says, Jeffrey, if you become emperor, can we in the fourth dimension call you Imp Jeff for short? No, I'll have you executed like immediately
on the spot. Yeah. There will be no trial.
Might do it myself. I'm emperor. I can get away with it. CK says they should make it that sports betting agencies and the owners are required to build or renovate stadiums. They profit enough to cover it, and then they get tax write-offs for it. No, I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good place for some of that gambling money to go. It's like when you play the lottery, they're like, hey, proceeds are going to education and this and that. And like, okay, well, so maybe the proceeds of gambling should partially go to these sorts of things so they don't have to keep shaking us down for more money when it comes to taxes. Well done, CK. I usually think you're an idiot, but this is pretty good.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
Wow. He just dropped the idiot right there on him.
It was a compliment.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
It's like that's a very underhanded compliment. Any compliment that
No, it
starts
was
with
overhand. I don't throw like a girl.
I
Overhanded,
usually
but from the
think
left
you're an
side.
idiot is going to wipe out
Oh,
everything else that you
Keon,
said
I think I
afterwards.
see where the problem. He knows. He's been told.
My
Chosen one
bad.
says same issue the Coyotes had.
It's not.
Not really.
Not really.
Also, the
really.
Coyotes broke their lease and refused to pay back any money that they
Yeah.
owed. That changes this very differently.
Yeah.
Where the Diamondbacks are up to date on their lease. They haven't failed to pay anything. They want to make sure that with 4 years left on the lease, that things get fixed up before before it's time to make certain decisions.
Yeah. Chief Skulls says transplants. You now live in Arizona. Root for Arizona teams along with your other teams.
Well, I don't know about that because I moved here and I'm not rooting for
Yeah.
Arizona teams over the teams
Keon,
that
I can give him a more concise no.
But
I don't explain nothing.
But I will say you now live in Arizona. So you're going to pay taxes for the things that your Arizona government wants. Yes, that's how governments work.
Yeah, that sucks a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. If you think about it. Big George says, how do we feel about Diamondbacks leaving Chase Field and going to Salt Lake City? Nobody's talked about this.
This is not
Who's talked about
happening.
this?
I don't know. People feel burned by the Coyotes, I think.
Chosen one says, yeah, typically you depreciate a commercial real estate asset over 20 years, which means they've already fully depreciated, no longer get the tax advantage. And that's why they don't want to put money into renovations. Yeah, all I heard was blah, 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 blah. And the county should pay for it.
It's still your building. You host events in there.
Oh, well, then
Pay
Maricopa
for it.
County should build them another building then. One that's not depreciated. Or, I don't know, fix up the original. Just saying. 7012 says he's a HVAC apprentice with the local 469. We can attach it to that. I can't read the other text he sent because in the radio business we don't talk about the past. It says he's been listening ever since a certain, and that's I can't. Yeah. So he's cool, Mr. Cool. We call him Mr. Cool because he works in HVAC.
Oh, that's true.
But he's an apprentice, so he'd be.
I think that works because that's
boy
like
cool.
A step below like Mr. Freeze. You're not Freeze. You're just cool right now because you're working your way up.
Cool
Yeah.
Junior.
That's kind of good. I like that.
Come on, guys. Come on. Help out.
Oh, I'm
No, I thought we arrived on Mr. Cool.
Well, he can't be Mr. Cool yet. He's not an actual. He's still an apprentice. So
does
an apprentice.
he get to become Mr. Cool? Can he officially text in after he's no longer an apprentice?
Okay, here's the deal. He's Mr. Cool right now. Cool Junior, maybe even, says Chief Skull. But
Cool Junior. I like that.
Cool Junior now. And when he becomes like, I don't know what it is, like no longer an apprentice, once you've become a master of your trade, we'll call you the Iceman.
Oh,
Ooh, I like that.
That's
so
dope.
Iceman.
Yeah.
So what do you say, 7012? Right now, you're Cool Junior. When you become fully formed as a HVAC tech, we will change your name to the Iceman. Done deal. Done deal right there.
I love it.
Like that.
Love it.
Of course, he hasn't said done deal yet. But
Oh,
he says, yes, when I turn out as a journeyman, I'll take Iceman. He says, I like that. There you go. Slow Mo Zo says, almost cool. Chief Skull says, half cool. Silver Pops wants me to say something dirty in Spanish.
Cool enough.
But I already know that one. Not going to do it, Silver Pops. Moist one says, I'm also an apprentice for 6'9". Did he actually say, yeah, he is the local 469? Dude, is that a real thing, or did you just make me say 469? 69. Tio says, should the D-bags move to Vegas and beat the A's? You mean get there before they do? Then nobody's getting there until there's a stadium. So probably no. Swazman says, Jeffrey, it's pretty obvious that sports are only one part of the American society. There are people out there who don't pay any attention to any sport and would never want to pay for any stadium. I would be willing to buy a brick on the walking path for the new stadium.
Okay, but there are events that happen in that building that aren't sports. You get that, right? Like,
Didn't they had drone racing in there? Didn't they have drone racing?
I was at Chase Field earlier this week at a concert.
So it was America West Arena.
Maybe.
Right.
CK says they should make it that sports betting agencies and the owners are required to build or renovate stadiums. They profit enough to cover it, and they get tax write-offs. Yeah, I already said all that.
Why is everybody attacking the sports betting on this? Maricopa County has been taxing the taxpayers of Maricopa County since 1993. Maricopa County should be involved in this. This is their building.
You're right. I just want the teams to pay their fair share, and
I agree with that.
And they started building the building before they leased it to the Diamondbacks. So, the Diamondbacks are on a lease that's going to
Maricopa County was just randomly going to build a ballpark. And they're like, oh my God, what a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. They obviously worked it out, but the plan was to lease it the whole time. So they are responsible for the building.
Big George says, I've been called the Iceman in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I would not have said that out loud.
Sorry to hear that, George.
Could not have waterboarded that out of me, but okay.
Kiss the Cook says, if gambling money goes to education, why are we ranked 50th? Think about that, West Virginia, Alabama, and Arkansas. You're ranked higher than we are. We dumb. Chief Skull says, Billy Joel and Elton John played at Chase Field. They can pay for it. Yeah, let's make them pay for it.
I'll never see him again.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, it's time for Keon Rose's college football dance party. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, sports bettors, Jeffrey O'Brien here to tell you about my favorite sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS.com. Football's back, so it's time to get in on the action. I endorse one sportsbook and casino, and that is BetUS. If you want a game plan to win this season, then check out BetUS. BetUS went large for you this season with a huge offer, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. That's right, a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. BetUS offers value other sportsbooks simply don't offer. Gamblers insurance, crypto bonuses, and casino bonuses. Plus, they have all the products you need. Competitive odds, parlays, live betting, odds boost, and prop betting. And when you're ready to lay down your bet, give your bet an edge. Why not combine your sign-up bonus with knowledge? Get that knowledge with expert analysis, picks, and predictions on all major sports on their very own BetUS TV. Get started today at BetUS.com or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BetUS. BetUS, where the game begins.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Before we get to Keon Rose's college football dance party, I just want to really quick, well, I don't know, I guess we can talk about this in the dance party, but there's two things I want to make sure you cover. Can we just do that? I'll just say that, then I'll let you begin.
Okay.
Want to talk about Arch Manning getting his first start at Texas now that Quinn Ewers is too injured to play. And of course, you're going to talk about ASU and their game against Texas Tech Raiders, Red Raiders, right? You're gonna do both those things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, then in that case, I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm going to let you get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time right now. Yes, again, you know it, you love it. You can't live without it. It's Keon Rose's college football dance party.
And it's always fun to do this on Friday in college football season. Yeah. Yeah. I like that little twirl you did there, Jeff Gump. Very, very smooth.
Well, I've got all kinds. I got new videos for my dance party. So
I can't wait.
Looking forward to
Okay.
this.
All right. So, Keon, here we go. What's happening tonight? Because there is a big game tonight. Number 24, Illinois, the Fighting Illini, taking on number 22, Nebraska. That's at Tom Osborne Field. It has not gotten underway yet. It's slated for 8 p.m. tonight. Who do you got in this matchup?
Yeah, this is going to be a really good game. I'm glad that we've got, a little college football on some Friday nights, but this is going to be, I would say, better than last week's Friday night game, which was kind of a beatdown as Arizona got worked. So we got Illinois and Nebraska going head to head, and it's two quarterbacks that have just been lighting up the scoreboard. Altmaier with 6 touchdowns, no interceptions this year. Dylan Raiola, 5 touchdowns, just 1 interception. And both of them have just been putting it in the air, asking a lot of these defenses to do. But I do think that what Raiola does as a quarterback that changes games is how he plays well off schedule. When he's forced out of the pocket, when he's forced to break that area, he's still very effective. And I watch him play, and I just think it's kind of crazy. He's clearly one of these players that grew up watching Patrick Mahomes because it looks identical. The no look passes, my body's going to the left, but I'm throwing to the right. Like that stuff, he does it really well. It never seems like too much. It never seems like he's forcing it. I also like just what Matt Rule has done with this roster, just getting them to a level of success that I think Nebraska football has been looking for a long time. I think this is a very important game for them, and I look to the Cornhuskers to put the Illini away.
Well, they put the hurt on the Colorado Buffaloes just a week
really
ago.
Did. Yeah.
So anyway, should be a lot of fun. That's tonight, 8:00 on Fox. Saturday morning, 21 Clemson is taking on North Carolina State. North Carolina State, not the same team that they were last year. They were ranked last year and pretty damn good, but this year they're struggling a bit. That game's set to kick off high noon on ABC at Clemson. So what do you got in this matchup?
Yeah, just it's been a very inconsistent season for the Wolfpack, who had a really good year last year. Not just a really good year last year, but they finished really well. They were one of the hot teams coming into this college football season. where people looked at this program and thought, okay, they've got a lot to build on, but they haven't gotten very consistent quarterback play. It's been a very up and down ride for Grayson McCall. And then when you look at Clemson, they're a team that they've been inconsistent in their own right. They're 1-1 this year. They were up and down last year as well. But the thing to note about Clemson is just going back to last season, how much better this football team plays when they're playing at home versus when they're playing on the road. And you got the Clemson Tigers taking on a Wolfpack team that still looks like they're trying to find their identity. The Tigers are playing at home. They play better no matter which player they end up rolling out at quarterback, because it does seem like they've got a bit of a carousel going. I'm going to go with the Clemson Tigers to get this one.
All right. Do we need to really talk about Marshall, the number 3 Ohio State? I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this.
No, I don't think we are. The line on this game is -40 in favor of the Buckeyes. So if there's any drama, it's going to be, can they cover the 40-point spread or not? My guess is that they'll probably still do it, because that's how they roll over there at Ohio State. If they can run up a score, they're going to run up a score. So, yeah, I don't think we need to spend too much time getting into that one.
Head coach Marshall offering a unlimited supply of biscuits and gravy to any Ohio State player that would like to transfer down to his school at Marshall. So, all right. Okay, I don't think we need to talk too much about Kent State at number 10, Penn State.
No, the line on that game is even worse, by the way. 49-point favorites are the Nittany Lions. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is going to be an interesting game. Arkansas State, number 20, Iowa State, excuse me. That's happening on Saturday. Who do you got in this matchup?
It could be interesting. Arkansas State punched a little bit above their weight class, but ultimately they're just not as consistent a team. I think you've got to throw the football a whole lot better if you're going to hang with a team like Iowa State, who is, averaging somewhere around 270 yards a game through the air. So it's a pretty solid offense. Their quarterback, Rocco Becht, doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. I think he's got 1 interception this year, takes very good care of the football. It's not a big play thing, but if you don't take care of the football, you're not beating the Cyclones. I am taking the Cyclones at home.
All right. Here's a big one. 3:30 on CBS. Number 11, USC, pays a visit to the Big House, taking on number 18, Michigan. What does that look like to you?
Yeah, this is actually a very fascinating game, because I think that it's a very, very good Michigan defense going up against the USC offense that has looked incredible so far to start the year. And obviously, USC can do some things defensively too now. I thought coming into this season that their defense wasn't good enough. I wasn't a very big believer in the direction that program was heading in. However, they've made strides to fix that defense. It looks like a different group of people entirely. They're not a perfect defense, but they're further along than I thought that they would be at this point in the year. And I'm leaning towards USC for a couple of reasons. One, I think that Miller Moss and the Trojans, the offense is just so explosive. They're averaging nearly 500 yards of offense a game. It's just incredible video game number type stuff. And then when you also look at what Michigan brings to the table offensively, I just haven't seen enough from the Wolverines offensively, especially throwing the football. They're going to give the start to Alex Orji. Excuse me. His name is spelled Orji is how you spell it, but it is pronounced Orji. So he's taken over the reins, and he's so effective on the ground, but I don't know what kind of a passer of the football he's going to be. I think if you want to hang with the Trojans, you're going to have to put the ball in the air. I just don't know that Michigan's doing that at a high enough level.
The athletic director's like,
USC.
when I told you to get me an orgy. This is thanks, but that's not.
Alex Orji getting the start.
I think this could be the game of the weekend. It's a Big 12 matchup. The new member of the Big 12, number 12, Utah, which some people believe could be the best team in the Big 12, go to Boone Pickens Stadium in Oklahoma to take on the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. What's this game look like to you, Keon?
Well, this isn't. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong. I'm looking at the wrong Oklahoma.
Looks like crap.
No, it doesn't look like crap. It looks like a very good game. This one is actually in a lot of places it's a pick 'em, if you can believe that. But it's very interesting because you have two quarterbacks who are like 1,000 years old in college football years, 7-year starters, each of them, in Cam Rising and in Alan Bowman, starting for Oklahoma State. And I like the way that both of them have started. I like Bowman's start a little bit better. There've been some ups and downs with Cam Rising as far as his health is concerned. The injury stuff is always a concern, but when he's on the field, it's good. He's a scary, scary quarterback, but I'm going to take Oklahoma State because I just like that. They're playing at home. They play really, really well at home. And I think that Bowman leads the more explosive offense of the two of them. Not by much. They're both very explosive offenses, but I think Oklahoma State's got a little bit more juice.
All right. Quickly, number 6, Tennessee visiting Oklahoma in Norman. This is going to be another big game. What do you have in this matchup?
First off, always weird to hear Tennessee versus Oklahoma as an SEC matchup. It just doesn't even feel right. But no, I think this is a game that involves two of the most exciting quarterbacks in college football. Oklahoma at home with Jackson Arnold at quarterback, and Jackson's been absolutely incredible. 7 touchdowns so far this season. And he's a tough football player. I just think that Oklahoma has had a little bit of a struggle with their defense by their own standards. Not that they've had a bad defense, but where Brent Venables wants that defense to be, they haven't played necessarily to that standard. And then here come the Tennessee Volunteers, who have a tendency of making defenses work really hard to figure out what the hell it is they're trying to do, because Tennessee's offense is just not a very typical offense. I will also say, though, that Tennessee hasn't really been tested. When you look at the defenses that the Volunteers have played, it's hard to look at that and come away thinking that Tennessee's played anybody really. They played Chattanooga to start the year, NC State, who's showing to not be that particularly great, and then Kent State last week that they put 71 points on them. So Tennessee's offense hasn't been tested in any way that anybody can tell. That being said, I'm still going to take the Vols and their quarterback, whose name I can only barely pronounce, Iamaleava. But it's such a strange offense, and people have so much trouble trying to figure out how to stop it that I don't know that Oklahoma playing not to the standard they'd like. I don't know that they can stop Tennessee either.
All right, quickly, Arch Manning with his first collegiate start, looked good last week in relief of yours, but he's starting this week against UL Monroe, the number 1 ranked Longhorns of Texas. Give me a quick rundown on that before we ask you about ASU.
Yeah, first off, the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe have the best quarterback name in all of college football. General Booty is their quarterback.
Who? What?
General Booty is the quarterback of the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, brother of the former USC Trojan John David Booty. So anyway, that alone is worth the price of admission. But the Texas Longhorns are ranked number 1 in the nation, and it's 44.5 is the line in this game. So I just think that this is going to be a very bad, very lopsided game. However, it's going to provide plenty of opportunities for Arch Manning to continue to look good. I don't know if Quinn Ewers is getting his job back when he's healthy. I genuinely don't think he's getting it back.
It's finally happening.
So that one Quinn Ewers injury a year could not have happened at a worse time, because he closes out the game against UTSA, and now he gets a Louisiana Monroe matchup where he's going to put up even more yards in the air, and he looked better than Quinn did last week.
He had a lot of poise. He was accurate with his throws. He wasn't rattled at all.
And if he's forced out of the pocket, he's leaving you behind.
And he knows how to run. All right, final game before we go to a break here. I know we're a little late. ASU traveling to Jones AT&T Stadium to take on Texas Tech. Give it to me, Keon.
Yeah, technically, this is the Big 12 debut of the Arizona State Sun Devils, because this is the first Big 12 matchup that they're actually involved in. And I really, really like where the Sun Devils are headed. Dominant force in the running game. Obviously the 230 yards a game when you have Cameron Scadaboo and everybody in the building knows that you're giving him the football and you still can't stop him. that becomes a massive issue. I'm not exactly a big fan of Texas Tech trying to stop that particular rushing attack. And then when you figure out how to stop Scadaboo, Sam Levitt, I think, has shown enough as a passer of the football. And he does it with his legs as well. He's able to take over games where if there's nothing downfield for him to throw to, he can leave the pocket and really hurt teams that way. And I think that this offense is really well balanced. They play with a lot of tempo. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they arrive at the football hard. They hit people with a lot of violence, with much violence. And I think that Texas Tech probably not prepared for this one. I don't think. I'm going to go with the Sun Devils, who are the underdog in this game, but I don't think that they should be.
All right, that's it for this week's Keon Rose's college football dance party. Jeff, go with your popcorn popping behind you there.
I'm just ready. I'm ready to see ASU
I know you are.
go 4-0.
Yeah.
That'll be
Look at
something. Looking forward to it. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got a bunch of NFL football to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments
Welcome to Flight 101.
to annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter. So help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
The road to better health leads to my longtime friends, Dr. William Gaspar and his wife, Ava, at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. JD Hayworth here, and the buzz about Beehive is spelled out in its middle name. IV. Not only are today's popular treatments available, IV hydration, joint injections, semaglutide for weight loss, as well as many more, it's also the Gaspar's holistic naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. That means treating the underlying causes of chronic disease, from chronic fatigue to fibromyalgia, even those dealing with Lyme disease and lupus. The experienced medical staff designs a customized plan for each patient. So walk in or make an appointment today. Mention my name, JD Hayworth, get half off your first treatment. Better health awaits you at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your cell phone. And remember, you'll thrive at Beehive.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I'd like to go to the text line.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
One of those days.
No, the text line is fine.
Oh.
It's just there it is. lost a bunch of information on my computer again, and I think maybe I need you to text me the password because my backup information is older than what we're currently using.
All right, we'll do.
No, Randy, we're not playing the guessing game right now.
Oh,
that's not what's happening.
Damn.
Oh,
I always love playing the guessing game.
I know you do, and I'm not trying to take that away from you.
Think
but
you
this
are.
is not. This is not the time for it. Oh no! Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, it didn't work. So yeah, it texts me on my phone, and no, I'm in. No, it's just there's a massive problem with my Google. I might have to delete it and reinstall it. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do later tonight. But I think I'm in. Yes, I'm in.
Okay.
That was messed up. That was very messed up. All right, so back to the text line, and let's get caught up on that, and then we'll do the NFL thing. Let's see. Bruno Baller says, I can remember the 1996 ASU football season with Jake Plummer beating Nebraska at home, just coming up short in the Rose Bowl. Oh, boy, was that a wild ride. Yeah, I remember that, too. I do remember that.
Damn it, David Boston.
Moist One says, need a booty versus orgy matchup. Call it the KY Jelly Bowl.
Ooh.
I agree. Sir Drives a Lot says, everybody's getting pregnant. Trojans talking orgy. Big George says, Jeffrey completely dominated this edition of Keon Rose's College Football Dance Party with his hard-hitting orgy analysis. No, he's not wrong. Mr. Pink Eye says, is Diddy at Keon's dance party? No. It ain't that kind of dance party, Pink Eye.
Nope.
You should know better than that.
Yep.
Slow-Mo Zoe says they also have the Home and Garden Show at the Bank One Ballpark, RV show, and the rodeo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Well, I guess they can enjoy having those things in the future in a dilapidated building. Well, why not? All right, I think we're good now. Okay, let's talk football. Before we talk football, let's talk a fantasy football thing. Now, this fantasy football thing is insane. We're in week 3, right? And if anybody in the league you're in takes things too seriously to the point where they're making international threats, please let me know. Feel like that's something.
Somebody's making international threats.
Yeah. So this 25-year-old dude from Pennsylvania by the name of Matthew Gabriel, he pled guilty to 2 counts of interstate and foreign threats after he made false tips to police in the United States and overseas, claiming his rival was a threat. You know how they have that thing where you SWAT somebody? You're playing video games and you give their address and say there's something going on in there, and the SWAT kicking the door while you're playing the video games. You can hear the guy getting harassed. Well, this is different. It started last year when 2 men had some sort of fantasy football argument, and I don't know what it was about. Some heated banter about quarterbacks. I don't know. It got out of hand, and they were debating something. Anyway, so Matthew knew the other guy was studying abroad in Norway, so he called the authorities and made an anonymous tip that his rival was planning a mass shooting at a concert and at a department store. Norway spent 900 hours of manpower investigating this case before they finally realized that it was a hoax. 900 hours.
They took it very seriously, and I'm sure they were very unhappy when they were done.
Also shows you that Norway is bad at investigations. But anyway.
Either that or insanely thorough.
I was just going to say that.
During that months-long investigation, Matthew did it again. This time he emailed another fictitious threat to the University of Iowa in an account under another name, claiming that the same fantasy football group member was threatening to blow up the school. So naturally, that one, the FBI gets brought in. The FBI is good at things, and Matthew was eventually charged, and he'll be sentenced in January. Oh, at least he gets to finish the fantasy football playoffs. And
hope it was worth it, buddy.
5 years in federal prison and a $250,000 fine.
Wow.
I hope it's not a dynasty league.
What did that guy say? You know, wow. No, I don't think anybody drive me so crazy that I call in a terrorist threat against you.
Yeah, he probably didn't say anything that bad. Because if you're so crazy that you do it twice,
Yeah.
He probably didn't say anything that wild. What?
By the way, who studies abroad in Norway? What are you getting out of Norway that helps your career?
I understand
what are
there's
they
a lot
good
of
known
broads
for?
in Norway.
Of course, you can study some broads in Norway, but I mean, what is the educational value of Norway?
Well, there's all kinds of culture. You
don't know anything about Norway.
I don't know anything about Norway, but this guy apparently did, and he was probably over there studying the great culture of our friends in Norway.
Norway is famous for mountains, fjords.
Yep.
The fjords,
the fjords,
forests, outdoor stuff.
Norwegian elk hounds.
There's nothing there to study.
Norwegian elk hounds.
Just hang around outside. That's it. Can I be honest? Norway is one of the most boring countries that exist. I think.
You think?
Might be
Oslo's
beautiful.
lovely.
Huh?
I hear Oslo's lovely.
You just looked up Norway and saw the first place as Oslo, and you just said Oslo's lovely.
No, I actually looked up Norway. I couldn't find anything to say,
What
and then
about
just said
Bergen?
Oslo's lovely.
What about Torsmo? What about those places?
Oslo's the only place I know. I watched the
about
Spy
Pulpit
Show.
Rock?
They met once in Oslo. Oslo's the only place I know in Norway. You can't name other places in Norway. I don't even know what you do in Oslo.
Fish. I think that's it. There's just fishing.
You could fish. You could eat fish. Yeah.
Cook fish.
Norway is like part of the double penis of Sweden. You know what I'm saying? It just, if you look at the map, they're connected to each other. Norway is like the Chile.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah, it looks like a double penis.
What do you?
And Finland looks like the testes.
Yeah, it is very much shaped like that.
Well, seriously, go look at a map. No one can say I'm wrong.
Wasn't it like Norway is a big Viking place, wasn't it?
Well, yeah,
like
it's all the Scandinavian
ancient
countries. Is Finland, Sweden, Norway, all of them. Scandinavia.
So again, what substantial thing can you study in Norway when you're studying abroad?
Thundering waterfalls.
Viking history? I don't know.
Kiss the Cook says Norwegian women. Seabass says, have you seen the Netflix show Lilyhammer? Lots of people getting Captain Norway on that show. Is that where that is? That mob show
Captain
in
Norway?
I didn't know that. Beer Bob says, this is what there is to study in Norway. And he sends me a picture of a bunch of blonde women. I guess these are all just gals from Norway.
I just think Sweden's more interesting, and it's the same kind of people. But hey, sure, Norway.
Let me look here. Sweden. Where's Sweden? Oh, right next to Norway.
Yeah, it's the other.
I want to go to Switzerland, though. That's way down there. That's where the chocolate is. Anyway, Moist One says, yes, Finland. I already said that. It's the testes. CK says there'll definitely be a lot of... yeah, I'm not reading it.
Wow.
Swazman says, remember OJ ran a fantasy football league in jail when he was in Nevada. How would you like to do something wrong in that league, huh? Well, he's dead now.
You can't. You shouldn't play fantasy football in jail. That's. I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, I said I'd pass on that because if you beat somebody, then you probably get stabbed, and then losing feels like getting stabbed. So, Raven Kid says, I make people mad off of League One so much. I'm surprised they haven't pulled this against me yet. What makes you think anybody cares about you in League One? Let me take a look at League One. Let's see how angry everybody is at him. If you're not in first place, he's in first place.
Okay, so that's fair. That's
you haven't had time to make anybody mad at you this season.
It's only been 2 weeks.
He is in first place, though. I'll give him that. Glendale Mullet says, can you only game tackle Mr. Orgy? I think he means gang tackle.
Oh, boy.
It takes more than one person to bring down Mr. Orgy.
Okay.
Bruno Baller says, I can remember the I read that one. Let's see here. Yeah. Man, my computer's doing weird things. Seabass says, Norway is a lot better than Sweden. Same beautiful country and women, but no ABBA. You get a ha when you're in Norway. They're Norwegian. Okay, so if you're over in Norway, you listen to a lot of Take On Me. And then if you're over on the Sweden side, I don't know any ABBA songs.
I don't know any ABBA songs either. I don't know. I just like Sweden. I don't know.
Bunch of blonde girls singing. I don't know. Kansas Spread says, I forgot to text you guys earlier. I was on the golf course. Illinois, 9.5 at, plus 9.5 at Nebraska. So I'm taking Illinois. This should be a hard hitting Big Ten slugfest. That's a lot of points to give Nebraska.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game.
Number one Rattlers fan says, good morning, fellas. So I've been in the hospital for a while. Hey, I got a new kidney. That's right. Got a new kidney transplant, and the Rattlers won the whole thing. Oh,
Congratulations, man.
Didn't
Hope
know
you're
that.
feeling well. Good
But
for you.
We're more impressed with you getting your new kidney transplant. So
Yeah,
good for you,
congrats.
man. Hope it takes and everything works out well for you.
Absolutely.
Bruno Baller says Austria looks pretty nice too. Is that where Arnold Schwarzenegger is from?
Yes.
Austria. Get to the chopper.
All I was trying to do is catch up on the line here, and I totally didn't get to talk any football. We didn't get to talk anything.
Oh, we got a whole hour left of the Daily Blender for this Friday.
We'll give it a shot. We will definitely give it a shot. When we
I think
come
it's
back,
Going to be our finest hour.
I don't even know what that looks like.
Well, you're about to find out.
I don't know.
As we charge forth into this final hour, this will be our finest hour.
That sounds like an awful lot of pressure that I just know. So now I'm automatically promising you it's next hour is likely going to stink.
Okay.
I just don't want that kind of pressure on me.
Sorry about that, pal.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Tommy, I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter. So help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's UPORTE.com.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert. 4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
What is it? Why so melancholy?
Just whenever I'm struggling with computer issues, it always puts me in a mood. You know, I get everything the way I like it. I got the passwords, I got the this, I got the that. And then when something glitches out, I'm trying to fix it. And like a moron, I didn't save all my passwords. Like I export it to an Excel file before I started trying to fix Chrome and do stuff. So now I'm like, oh my God, now I gotta forgot password everything, and then I gotta save a thing and then do a thing, and then some of the things like, oh my God, it's just you know. And then there's a lot of tech stuff that I do with the radio station, so there's a bunch of that information, and now I gotta go recover. It's like just puts me in a mood, and it's distracting. Yeah,
wow,
that's all. Other than that, I got nothing to complain about.
Well,
Supposedly my Colts will win a game this weekend.
Oh yeah, they're gonna win, no problem. They're going to win big time.
I've seen that Bears offensive line. You're beating them.
Well, I don't like that I got to play a team that stinks to win. That's the thing that's very frustrating about these Colts. They were supposed to, be put together better than this. And when the Packers just ran right through them like they didn't even exist, that hurt my feelings. You know, that just took all the wind out of my sails. Like, I get it. This is supposed to be the education of Anthony Richardson. But the education is going to be short-lived if, receivers don't catch balls and the O-line doesn't take care of business. I mean, I don't know, I'm a little down about my team. So I was like, great, we're going to get a win. So that'll be nice, I guess. But that doesn't mean anything is fixed.
Sometimes you need a get-right game. Like you do need a bad team to just beat up to get the confidence back and all of that. Like that. That's a real thing.
Did you really believe that it's a lack of confidence that my Colts are suffering from? Or maybe more likely a lack of talent?
How many games did Anthony Richardson play in the preseason?
Listen, none. But here's the thing. He's played 6 NFL games in his entire career. I get it. His part I'm not upset about. It's everything else. It was supposed to be better.
And like he turned the ball over a lot last week. He contributed to that. So like part of his education does make life a little bit more difficult for other parts of that team. That doesn't mean that the team's untalented.
No, we have a lack of talent in a lot of spaces on that team.
Yeah.
So, it's just a little disheartening. I mean, Chris Ballard, I've been a fan of his for a while, but now I'm starting to kind of like, it's always the same. You got me a discount team. Again, another discount team.
I don't know if it's like a discount, but he's definitely the general manager who's never been a big fan of boom or bust players. He doesn't like to swing big on guys that he doesn't think are going to.
At least swing a little bigger, and he's not. So
yeah, that's just not how he is.
Time to move on.
So
he may have gotten you a discount team, Jeffrey, but he did not get you a discount double check.
Okay, I'd like to give him a discount double cup check for just giving me in the same damn problems. Choro says the Colts lost Buckner. Chicago will upset. Yeah, why not? I'm already upset.
Has Chicago's offense looked like anything that requires DeForest Buckner to go after Caleb Williams? Does Caleb Williams have a passing touchdown? Oh, wait, no, he doesn't have that. How many sacks does Caleb Williams have? And I'm not even putting it all on Caleb. That offensive line that the Bears have does not require somebody of the caliber of DeForest Buckner to go after the opposing quarterback. It's awful. It's the worst offensive line in the league. I feel very confident saying that.
Choro says, run the ball.
That too. It would help.
Well, I mean, Okay. He says, play defense. Limit Caleb's touches.
I mean,
I'm sure that all these things are on the table.
It just
execution is what matters.
Through 2 weeks, nobody has had a hard time getting to Caleb Williams. I find it hard to believe that the Colts will also struggle.
Cool Jr. says under 30 points total. I got the Colts over the Bears.
Wow.
Choro says, look at Green Bay. Yeah, I know. I got to see what Green Bay does. They just ran right through us. They ran right through us.
With their top 5 offensive line. They're going to do that to a lot of people.
Choro said they knew Green Bay was going to run, but couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
I know.
Sometimes running the football is like that.
I kind of want a new GM. Nothing. I don't dislike Chris Ballard. I hated Ryan Grigson when he was there. That greasy bastard killed Andrew Luck. And, so Chris Ballard comes along. Oh, wow. This guy makes sense. He drafted some good stuff and he got some discount stuff that was really, really good. Problem is, it's not always going to be that way. And so now we have a discount team. It's not really, really good.
He went boomer bust on the quarterback and then went high floor, low ceiling everywhere else, which does seem like an odd combination. I will say.
I think he knows that his seat is very hot. And that's why recently he says, well, this is how I do things. If I get fired, I get fired.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's not a great thing to hear.
It's not a great thing to hear, but his process is his process. And he's doing it the way that he knows how. And yeah, some guys, they show up, they build your foundation, and then you get to the next level with somebody else. That happens too.
Choro says, I like pointing the finger at Caleb, but you have Richardson there on the other side too. I know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Like I've seen the flashes of here's what Richardson can be. I haven't seen that yet from Caleb Williams from the regular season on. We saw a little in the preseason, but we haven't seen it in the regular season.
I will at least give my defense the credit that the score that Green Bay and the Colts had, that it was not a blowout. It felt worse than the score showed. So the defense at least did their job, and made stops, or else the score would have been crazy. So Beer Bob says, wait, Jeffrey, did you say Andrew Luck is dead? Yes, he's football dead. He was football murdered.
By Ryan Grigson.
Exactly. That's the man. Mr. Pink Eye says, what about NAU versus Incarnate Word? Who does Keon like?
NAU.
NAU's on a tear. Against the Spread says, here are my other picks for you guys. Pay attention now. I like ASU plus 3.5 at Texas Tech. Texas State might be better than Texas Tech, and ASU has already won on the road in Texas and has 2 more days of rest. I also like USC -4 at Michigan. USC has a solid defense and offense. Michigan has a solid defense, but Orgy in the big house can't score. How do you go with the name Orgy and not score? Anyway, I also like Baylor +2 at Colorado. Colorado's offensive line won't be able to deal with Baylor's athletes on defense. Baylor might win that game outright. Play smart and always practice safe sex. No, I'm sorry. Practice money management.
Money management. Yeah.
And while you're at it, safe sex.
With that too. It's all important. I like those picks.
So there you go. Thank you very much. Against the Spread. Sure appreciate that. All right. Do we need to talk about last night's game?
Do we have to?
A little bit.
Okay. Are the Jets right, or is this just the Patriots?
I think the Jets are a little right. I mean, the Patriots defense is legit. Like, that's not a fake thing. It's just when they're on the field all game, because the offense can't do anything, can't move the football, and it's just a struggle. Like, eventually you're just going to give up the points. I think the Jets defense showed that when they're the ones that aren't on the field all the time, they can play at a high enough level to, hold an NFL team to 3 points. I think that's good news for them.
Well, we're looking at a Jets team that is now 2-1. And I don't feel like they've really played great football, to be honest.
Last night was the best game they played.
Yeah, last night. But,
and it's the most well balanced their offense has looked in terms of Aaron Rodgers spreading the ball around. Because prior to that was a whole lot of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers trying to force it to Alan Lazard because he's Alan Lazard and they used to play together, and that's the only reason he was forcing it that much. He spread it around to the point where Garrett Wilson, I don't even think was top 3 in receptions or in receiving yards last night. So I think that this is the best they've looked. It's hard to say how much better they actually can play because, like you said, it is the Patriots. They aren't very good. So it's hard to get a read on what that ceiling looks like for the Jets, but they have looked better. Yeah.
So we saw Braylon Allen in this game. He carried 11 times for 55 yards and looked pretty damn good. I was like, who's this kid? And it turns out he's like, well, you would have known me sooner, he says, but I fell to the 4th round because I didn't run in my underwear. Sorry, who asked him to run in his underwear?
Excuse me? He didn't go to the combine.
He said, everybody wanted to see me run in my underwear to decide if I was a good football player. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. Well, I don't think they're running their underwear.
Well, it's just a figure of speech. They're called the Underwear Olympics because you're essentially in underwear, plus a very, very tight tank top. It's just that's why it's called that. And that's
is this really why he fell the 4th round because he didn't go to the combine?
I mean, he's saying that if he actually ran, he might have put up the numbers that would have gotten him drafted higher. But then, of course, you run the risk of injury at the combine and a bunch of other things. So you're weighing. It's a risk and reward thing. He decided to not take that risk, and he dropped to the 4th round. But what he's saying is, I can play. And if you watched him last year, he can play.
Well, does Moist One know about this underwear running with a tight tank top? Does he
feel
know
like
about that?
It's on the NFL Network. I'm pretty sure if he wanted to find it, he would have found it by now.
He'd have bought a ticket. That's what I think. Big George says, can you really practice safe sex at an orgy? No. Moist One says, money management and safe sex go hand in hand. Well, they do for you. For you, they do. Yes, I get that. So Aaron Rodgers, one of the most annoying human beings on the planet, comes off the field after a second touchdown. Robert Saleh, who's not a hugging kind of guy, actually goes to give him a hug. Aaron Rodgers, stunned by the move, pushes his hands in his chest, and it looks like it just gives him the old stink eye. And everybody's like, what the hell was that? Turns out he was just trying to say something and didn't realize that Saleh was coming in for the hug. He was trying to say, I got 2-score lead now, so see what your defense can do. Cause they always talk about it, what the defense could do. If they had a 2-score lead, they could try different things. But that's the story, but he didn't look happy. He looked like angry at Saleh. Like it wasn't like a good moment at all. I don't know if I believe their version of events. Did you see the weirdness of that interaction?
I did. Yeah, that was very awkward. And you're right, Jeffrey. It looked like Rodgers was not very happy with Mr. Saleh.
I mean, what else can it be, though? I mean, Saleh goes in for the hug, and Aaron Rodgers is like, don't you dare touch me. Don't you? You never called. You never called. Not sure what it was all about, really. But they both say, oh, no, it was nothing. Aaron Rodgers says he's not a big hugger usually, so I didn't know he was coming for a hug. He likes to do a 2-handed chest push as well, but he talks a lot about 2-score lead, so I gave him a push and said 2-score lead. All right, that's all a good story, but that's not the face wasn't, it was like don't you dare touch me.
Yeah.
Do you not know who I am? Look.
I don't want to read body language like that. I just don't know.
I want to read the face, though. Did you see the face? That was not a hey, good for us, 2-score lead. It was like I'm gonna kill you kind of look.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh well, here's the other part. Don't care. Swazman says Tom Brady was 6th round and Brock Purdy was the last pick. So NFL separates the men from the boys. Truly, I don't understand what he's trying to say.
Are we talking about the Braylon Allen 4th round descent? I guess. I guess, yeah. If you eventually, what you do is going to show up on Sundays if you get the opportunity. If you're good at it.
Moist One says, I thought it was more like it's still early. Don't get too excited kind of thing. Yeah, but that was like a real angry face for too early. Don't get too excited. I don't know. It just was almost a hateful face. Just his eyes. Just seriously.
I don't know about hateful, but it was a very stern look.
Like, who do you think you are?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, none of
the
my
hell
business.
are you doing? Yeah.
Not my team, not my player, not my coach, whatever. Let me give you guys a little update on some stuff. Justin Jefferson now has no injury designation, and he will play against the Texans.
All right, there you go.
Good for fantasy football. Also good for fantasy football. David Njoku. Oh, that's bad for it. He's out again versus the Browns. Sorry, I thought that was going to be a positive story, but Myles Garrett's good to go, though. I saw the word good to go, and I thought it was Njoku. Nope, Myles Garrett, which doesn't really affect your fantasy football except for defense. Justin Herbert, high ankle sprain. Unsure if he'll play Sunday.
Oh, man. Well, at least he'll forego the pregame beating he gets from Harbaugh.
He's going to come over here,
which he doesn't like.
Check my
that body language I do not mind reading. Justin Herbert always looks at Harbaugh like, man, what are you doing?
Why are you doing this to me? This is not college, bro. We're in the bigs now.
Man, what are you on right now? But I saw that hit that Herbert took, and I'm actually shocked they were even considering playing.
Hold on, I gotta just check my pick on that one. If Herbert's not playing, there's no way. There's no way. I've lost my username. Oh Jesus! Does anybody remember my username? Because it's gone. Son of a.
Yeah, I didn't take the Chargers in the first place, so.
This is the day I'm having. Anyway, Miss Pink Eye says, "What about MIT versus Alfred State?" There's, they don't have any teams. Shut up.
I actually don't know whether or not they have teams.
MIT doesn't have a team.
I haven't watched either. I mean, Harvard does. Why wouldn't MIT?
We're not talking about mathletes. Kyle G says
the Chargers are playing Pittsburgh, Jeffrey.
Well, I know who they're playing. I just wanted to make sure I've moved my pick off of the Chargers and onto Pittsburgh. Because if Justin Herbert don't play, that's the way I'm going.
All right.
If he does play, then I'll stick with it. Kyle G says, felt more like, dude, it's week 3 and the Patriots. Come on, calm down.
Well, this is the problem. Is like some people do have just angry faces. Like that's just so they you can read it that way. But if I don't know what was said specifically, I wasn't there. I can't tell you from looking at my TV. I don't know.
I just understand this all like, just want you to know I respect you.
Okay, but we're talking about a guy dramatic enough to do that in Aaron Rodgers. He actually is dramatic enough to do that without an ounce of irony at all.
You've never looked more lovely. I just there's something going on.
Sometimes when I look at Aaron Rodgers and like see his face, like I genuinely am like, what is happening inside of that guy's head? I can't tell you. I don't know.
He had a concussion.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why he wears that oversized helmet. He's had a couple.
I have just been informed that the Dimebacks are up 1-0.
Congratulations.
I would check that, but then when I went to one of my pages, I can't log in.
It didn't work. I switched to Opera completely. I'm like not even going to fight Chrome anymore. We're done.
It's a good idea. I might do that. And Chrome takes a lot of memory.
It does. Why? I'm not 100% sure.
Welcome to Tech Talk with Keon and Jeffrey.
Yes, it is. It is 1-0 Diamondbacks.
Thank you. Choro says, I'm picking up all the quarterbacks in Jeffrey's league. What?
Why? How are
you in the Premier League?
Because if you're not in the league, how are you going to do that?
I want to remind everybody, I don't play in any league but the Premier League. If you see my name sitting there, I am the commissioner of that league. The other person's name, that's the Choro, you're one of the people who does the commissioner team.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't even play against me. Swazman says, Randy, remember Harbaugh went to the Super Bowl against his brother? He knows what he's doing in the NFL. He's just an oddball type kind of coach, like the Miami Dolphins coach, Oh,
yeah. No, I'm not saying that he doesn't know what he's doing. I just said, with his quarterback being out with a high ankle sprain, he will forego the beating Harbaugh gives him before the game. He likes to come up and pound on his shoulder pads hits him in the chest and on both shoulders and then on his back,
I think
and
this
then
is genuinely
slaps him upside his head.
This might be the first quarterback Harbaugh's ever had that just absolutely doesn't like it. Is just not having a good time. Thinks
He's
it's very
bewildered
stupid.
by it more than anything.
Yeah, he's at worst case he's amused. It's just what are we doing here?
All right, let's take a break. We come back, more football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing Saturday night under the lights in Bristol, Tennessee. It's the Bass Pro Shops night race, 500 laps around the half-mile track. It's also the final race of round one of the playoffs, meaning 4 drivers will be eliminated from the championship field at the conclusion of Saturday night's race. Denny Hamlin, who won at Bristol back in March, is the betting favorite to take the checkered flag, plus 400. Kyle Larson is at plus 550. Christopher Bell, plus 600, while Ty Gibbs is plus 1,000. Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher, both plus 1,200. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish. I'm just kind of blah.
Been there. That's why I take Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites.
But I suppose they taste blah.
Actually, they taste delicious. It's an apple blueberry flavored center covered in a yogurt coating and is infused with probiotics to help support a healthy gut. They come 5 in a pouch. I just toss one in my bag and go.
Toss one in my bag?
Get your own.
New Align yogurt-coated probiotic fruit bites from the makers of the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Find them in the digestive care aisle.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right, they're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona, and they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike, and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Now Big George is butthurt. He says, wow, Choro's allowed to be a commissioner and I'm not. I see how it is. Okay, again, he's not a commissioner. I'm the commissioner of every single Daily Blender Fantasy Football League. I just have a commissioner's team, which then I have somebody else man. So here's the deal is I do all the commissioner stuff. They do all the team stuff. I don't go into their side. They don't go into my side. And that's the way it is. So, there's no benefit to it, George. It just so happened I needed somebody to do it.
It's Big George. That's a big butt to hurt.
That is a huge butt to hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Screaming Eagle is the manager of the league that you're in, George. I don't remember who the original person was, but they're not that anymore. I think that because somebody went to the Premier League, not named you. So, you're fine, George. Just enjoy not having to worry about anything.
When you moving back, George?
He said at the end of the year.
That's right.
Did you find a place? Are you going to be in my neighborhood? We could hang out.
Wow, that's saying something.
We could. I'm not saying we will. Don't make it weird. So I don't know if anybody's noticed.
I have.
Okay, good. I don't have to say anything. Thanks. Did you notice, Keon?
Well, it depends on what we would have noticed. I don't know.
Well, I guess you're not paying attention because Randy noticed.
I noticed.
Well, that's a shame.
It is.
That's a shame that I noticed.
That's a shame that I didn't notice.
Oh.
So Travis Kelce, if you have him in fantasy football, you've noticed. Do you have Travis Kelce in fantasy football?
No.
Randy, do you have?
No. Mm-mm.
I've got Mark Andrews.
Oof.
No, he had a good week last week.
No, but the week before, not so much.
Yeah, it was but he's coming off an ACL. I didn't expect it to be instantaneous, but he's still Mark.
So Travis Kelce hasn't really set the world on fire so far this season. First game, you're like, all right, just one of them things. Second game, now you're like, well, he has 4 catches and 39 yards on 7 targets this entire season.
They're just trying to keep him healthy.
Do you think there is a concerted effort? Because he played a lot of snaps, man.
I don't think there's a concerted effort. I just think he's not open.
They're trying to get Rice involved. They're trying to get the wide receivers involved. And maybe a lot of the time there's a couple guys eyeballing Travis Kelce as well. So maybe the defenses are prepared because they know that there is that connection between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
I'd have to look at the numbers, but there's definitely truth to what you're saying. That and the fact that the Chiefs wanted to be a more explosive offense ever since they moved on from Tyreek Hill. They've needed that explosive, over the top kind of threat. And you look at the numbers last year, they were taking the fewest shots downfield of anybody in football, which is crazy if you have Patrick Mahomes. And they fixed that issue. They went ahead and got Xavier Worthy and some other players to try and stretch the field for them, which means that some of those targets that were going to Kelce, they're going downfield.
I don't know. There's been a lot of sweeps and he's not been involved with them. So that's kind of surprising too. But Travis Kelce, here's his stats: 1 rushing yard, 4 receptions for 39 yards, and 8 fantasy football points.
They're just trying to keep him healthy.
Is he just getting old?
And I think he would be considering retirement if there wasn't a 3-peat to come back for.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason he's back.
He's got Taylor Swift. I mean, they travel the world together. He's in her shows. Why would you play football?
Well, he may never catch another ball, but he'll be on the field all the time because otherwise you can't cut to Taylor Swift up there. You know what I'm saying? The NFL is going to be like, he's going to both my legs are broken. And they're like, get the robot legs on him. And it's going to get sad.
Go gadget legs.
Choro says, I'll take him. I got Evan Ingram.
Yeah. Well, when he was healthy, he wasn't good. And now he's hurt.
Let me give you the breakdown. In week 1, he got 6.4 points. Last week, he'd have got you a 1.6.
Yeah. This is why Scott the King was like, you just go out and you might have to jump a little earlier than you'd like to get a tight end just to make sure you're not chasing one of these other guys that gets you 5 points a week.
Gee whiz, I would have thought that Kelsey would be killing it.
Yeah.
He would have been somebody I would have gone for if somebody didn't beat me to it. And now I'm just glad that it didn't happen.
And I think it's interesting because teams in the NFL adjust. So if they're going to adjust to the Chiefs taking more deep shots, I wonder if there is a time where things come back around to Kelsey, or if he's just done.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, again, with the Patriots, with the Chiefs, you know, they had weirdness in the regular season and everything settled down into playoff action. So Travis Kelce's role, it will come back around. We'll find out if there's serious problems on the podcast. That's where you'll find out if there's problems.
That's true. And also, like, when you look at what the Chiefs just genuinely are, I just, from a fantasy perspective, I don't know if you can lean on Travis Kelce enough. Like in the playoffs, whatever is going to shake out is going to shake out. The Chiefs always figure out a way to get it done. But if in the regular season he doesn't get right for you, and you're a fantasy player that has Travis Kelce, I can't promise you that by the time the fantasy playoffs roll around, he'll be the Travis Kelce we knew from last year.
True story. 888-368-1580. Big George says, yeah, still planning on moving back to Arizona. Probably not until sometime next year, though. We're going to build a new house in Santan Valley. I'm not going to give all the information he put on here, but he says, it's a bigger lot that he wants. Won't become available until February. Considering it'll take 6 to 8 months to build, probably looking at moving back for good next summer. Dude, you told us it was going to be in January. You lied.
I'm so excited for you to move back here, Big George.
Liar McLiar face. Well, I could have just made that quicker by saying lawyer. Seabass says, surprisingly, the top 2 fantasy draft tight ends, Kelsey and Mark Andrews, are both underperforming. That Cardinals guy is doing good, but McBride. Now, I got Kyle Pitts. He's doing okay. Pitts is okay.
Boy, he's really kind of flamed out, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to be a whole lot better. I think it is kind of a down year for a lot of the tight ends across the league, but I don't know. I like the direction that Andrews is trending in more than the direction that Kelsey's trending in, which is not in any direction at all.
He's out there. I don't know if he's blocking, but he's out there. At least he gets a lot of time on the field. There's opportunity.
Well, I mean, if I know Andy Reid, and I'd like to say that I know him very well since we're best friends, I think he's using Travis as a way to pull defenders with Kelsey. And we were just talking the other night on the phone, Coach and I call him Coach because we're like that. And I think that's what's going on. He's using him as a decoy.
I don't believe you.
No, it's too bad. I'll tell Coach you don't believe me.
Yeah, have him call me because we didn't even get real Andy Reid to pull our fantasy football. We got fake Andy
Reid. Come on, Jeffrey. You know I'm a guy. I hobnob with the stars. I'm always rubbing shoulders with the bigs. Come on.
Swazman says, so far my second round pick of Laporta, not looking so good. I am 1-1 in spite of his lack of production. Here's the good news. If the tight ends aren't doing well, that means nobody's tight ends are doing well. I mean, I'm going to see
unless he had like Trey McBride last week. That was that was a decent time.
Right, I'm bringing up. So here's the people who are doing well in the tight end position. Isaiah Likely is probably the best.
Likely had that week 1 because he's obviously
talking fantasy football points.
But I'm saying the week 1 for Likely was great. The week 2 for Likely, if you had him in fantasy,
Okay, fair enough. But I only have these 2-week stats. I'm not going to break them in between weeks. I'm going on the average.
Okay.
Likely is still up there for that week 1. Who knows what week 3 is going to do to his average? Brock Bowers. Then George Kittle.
Is crazy.
Then
George
Trey
is
McBride.
Hurt. George Kittle is hurt.
He's doubtful. Hunter Henry. And Mike Gesicki and Kyle Pitts. I got both of them.
Oh boy, Henry had a horrible time last night too.
Zach Ertz is
he's doing all right.
But here's the drop off.
Let
me give you the drop off. So Likely Bowers, the only ones with 30 plus points, and Kittle McBride and Henry, the only ones with more than 25 points. And then Gesicki is the only one with 20 straight up points. And then under that, Kyle Pitts has 16. And it just goes down from there. The tight end position is having a rough start to this season. What is going on with the way they're playing football? The tight end position is starting to kind of vanish on us.
I think that a lot of the tight ends right now are being asked to block. Like, you're just looking at so much of the defenses in this league right now appear to be ahead of the offenses. A lot of the numbers are down. The passing numbers are down across the board, not just in terms of actual passes completed, but passes even attempted are down. So teams are running the football more, which means your tight end's probably not going out nearly as often as a pass catcher. That would be my guess.
I just had a dear Lord moment. Okay. Okay. Hold on here. I'm going to bring up week 2. There we go. Week 2 by itself. So Hunter Henry and George Kittle and Brock Bowers and Trey McBride and Gesicki had the best tight end numbers. 16 points, 18 points, 20 points. Everybody else, you're lucky if you get over 5 points. You know, we had a couple guys with 9 points, 8 points, 6 points. Tight end position's not getting people points.
And a lot of people are also in the NFL right now. There's a lot of 2 tight end teams. So you're kind of splitting those reps with other tight ends as well. It's interesting because, I mean, you've got the Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, that those 2 tight ends. I forget what's going on in Vegas with the Raiders, but you've obviously got Bowers, but there's a second tight end there. And I know the Cardinals have a couple.
So, well, you know, there's no reason to change anything. It's just keep in mind that tight end is not, don't use a tight end in the flex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, put a wide receiver running back in the flex.
I think that's pretty much off the table entirely. Yeah.
Used to be able to do that. Like, look at me. I got Gesicki and Kyle Pitts. Any other year, you'd be like, oh, dude, put them in the flex.
Yeah,
too.
That seems like a good idea. Not this year. There's a massive drop off from the top tight ends, and the top tight ends aren't doing what they used to.
Bruno Baller says Randy and Andy Reid swap barbecue recipes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I could believe that.
Mm-hmm.
If they knew each other.
Oh, we're so close. I can't even. We look alike, you know.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I put my glasses on, I look almost exactly like him.
No, I can tell you apart.
All right.
Choro says, so if you're playing the Chiefs, start that tight end. He says, yeah, likely. His points were against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are horrible against the tight end. That's interesting.
They're more interested in stopping the explosive plays. If they give you stuff underneath, the Chiefs don't seem to care very much.
So anyway, Travis Kelce off to a slow start. I don't know if this is just the new norm for at least the moment, but watch what happens if they do get in the playoffs. I think that changes. By the way, Travis Kelce, not for lack of trying, he gifted Patrick Mahomes a $22,000 golf bag for his birthday.
As if Mahomes couldn't get his own golf bag.
Louis Vuitton golf bag.
Oh my God.
No, Patrick loved it. He's just like, yeah, I can't wait to go golf on that thing. He's like, it's cool. He loves it.
I mean, if you're going to buy a gift for somebody, you got to get something they can afford. I mean,
right.
At the level of wealth that Patrick Mahomes has, there aren't very many things you could buy for him that he couldn't afford on his own, but that's how gifts work.
It's a nice
got to get
gift.
him something. Yeah.
It's not something you get for yourself. I mean, so Mahomes likes that kind of thing. His wife likes Louis Vuitton. So there you go. And by the way, Patrick Mahomes, I was kind of surprised. He's like, hey, I'm glad to have Kareem Hunt back. Like, really? Yeah. It's like, yeah, because if there's a woman who needs some kicking in the head, we've got the guy. All right.
I doubt that he said those words.
Oh, I didn't read the story, but I just assume if he says he's glad to have Kareem Hunt back, if there's a woman that needs kicking in the head.
I assume there's football reasons for why Patrick Mahomes would say that.
Funny, because whenever I see Kareem Hunt, all I can see is him running down the hallway of that hotel and kicking a woman in the head.
Well, yeah, that's because you don't work in an environment where there's lots of people who have done things that no one should be proud of.
So is Kareem Hunt a place kicker? Is he?
Yeah, if it comes to a woman's head, sure.
So there's that.
So
old
good
Kareem
guy,
Hunt.
Patrick Mahomes. Hey, I'm so glad to have Kareem Hunt back. And he looks at his wife.
Oh no! Stop that!
You better step in line.
Stop that!
Well, just see the post I put on Twitter.
I'm not going to single out Patrick Mahomes for this because there are lots of quarterbacks that try to say, well, we're just going to stick to football. And they say things like that. He's not alone in saying, I'm so glad to have enter football player who is absolutely an abuser here. Like that he's
used to bad people around him with his brother and his dad and his wife around, you know.
It's not even that. It's just, this is how football locker rooms have to work, because if I go to the media and say, wow, I can't believe we signed him. Like you're going to ruin the locker room. You will.
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, but they ask you questions from a football perspective. He's going to answer.
Here's what he said. He came to my wedding. He went to Cleveland, had a good career there, learned to become a better person, and I'm glad to have him back now. He doesn't kick nearly as many women in the head as he used to.
Well, hopefully that number's zero.
Was that a
not
direct
nearly
quote?
as many? No, I might paraphrase some of it.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. Well, it's Patrick Mahomes, notably not the best judge of character, seems to believe that Kareem Hunt is a different person.
He did address it, actually. He said, I think everyone has friends that make mistakes. Well, and obviously some are bigger than others, but at the same time, you want to make the person better. Like he made her head when he ran down the... I'm sorry, I'm not forgiving that, Patrick.
You don't have to. By the way, like I know that there's an idea that sometimes people grow and change and you got to let stuff go. You actually don't.
I'm Irish.
You don't
hold
grudges.
grudges.
Now, granted, I do think that people are there's the varying levels of consistency with who they choose to let things go for. But that's one that if you don't let it go, I can't blame you. I can't blame you.
Moist One says, kick the woman in the butt, but terrible person ruling still stands. Did he run down I thought he kicked her in the head. He kicked her in the butt?
No, he kicked her in the head.
Kicked her in the head, Moist One. I think we all saw the video. Pretty sure she got kicked in the head.
Yeah.
Unless you're confusing him with another running back.
Oh. Choro says, Keon is Old Testament. I'm Old Testament. Eye for an eye. That woman should get a free shot at his head.
I don't think I am, but
they should let that woman take a run at him.
Yeah, Keon's not Old Testament. Jeffrey is.
I'm a little bit. Certain circumstances. Just saying. I don't like seeing people talk nice about guys that kick women in the head. I'm sorry, it's just me. All right, let's take a break. We come back. We got on this date in Big George's sports history, and I got to scroll back and find it from Teacher Lady. The Teacher Lady quote of the day. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird, and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Well, I know what I'm doing this weekend. Trying to recover my damn computer. Just all my passwords,
Oh, no.
everything.
Oh, that's the worst use of a weekend, but you have to do it if you have to do it,
So Will Levis is complaining. He said, yeah, I had to change my phone number. Somebody got my number. I don't know how it got out there, but some fans, and I got a lot of texts, and they are not happy, and so he's like, I had to change my phone number. So he's like, it was nice to shut that part and put it behind me. He said, I don't even read social media, but so I guess he was getting some awful texts and stuff. And then you're like, wow, that's rough. Have to change your phone number and tell everybody that you do know, hey, this is my new number. Sorry. Dan Campbell had to sell his damn house. They found out where he was. They started showing up on the property. And he's like, this is a beautiful area, beautiful place, beautiful property. He's like, yeah, but they know where I live now, so I got to go.
Yeah.
So nobody knows where he's moved, but some people have already moved into his old house, and they put signs up saying Dan Campbell no longer lives here,
which is crazy. That's actually just both of those situations. The Will Levis one isn't funny, but it does remind me of that one time that the Dolphins were on Hard Knocks and then they accidentally gave out Ryan Tannehill's number because it was on the screen, but they didn't blur it out. So a bunch of people were calling Ryan Tannehill after that episode aired on HBO. But yeah, both of those situations, crazy. I hate that.
Yeah, well, it's all part of being in the public eye, but I mean, there is a certain level of civility, a certain level of, hey,
and like
maybe
privacy you should get to maintain, like people shouldn't be able to call you that don't know you as a person. That's weird.
Moist one, I thought the same thing. He says, I'd put up signs saying I didn't live there anymore if I didn't want to move. Maybe the whole story is just a classic misdirection.
You give a reporter access and in return they write this completely false story for you.
Yeah, where'd you go? Yeah. No, I mean that's a pretty good ploy right there. But Dan Campbell would kindly like Will Levis to STFU.
Really?
Man, I gotta sell my house. You had to change your number. Smack him.
No, because both of those problems are still problems. That just because your problem is worse doesn't mean my problem isn't a problem. That random strangers know my phone number, can call me, say all kinds of bleep to me.
Slight inconvenience with a phone number versus a $7 million house that you love.
Yeah, yes, comparatively, one problem is worse. Having to change your number is still a problem, though. Yeah. That would be ridiculous to slap him for that.
Not that big of a problem, though.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about his problems.
Dude's played 11 NFL games, and now he's having to tell people, hey, look, I got to get a new number because Yahoo's online somehow discovered my phone number and are now harassing me.
So it's Yahoo then. How do they get his number?
I mean, that's the name I chose to go
Yahoo
with this time.
got his number?
I could have gone with wackos.
Oh,
any number of
I see what you're
morons,
doing there. I thought you were saying
fools,
Yahoo.com had his number.
buffoons, ignoramuses. You know,
Yeah.
you got to use all of them.
on this.
Yeah. Netscape.
Teacher lady quote of the day. We don't have music for this or anything. I don't think. Do we have
Well,
any
yeah, I
music
mean,
for
we
this?
could do this. I mean,
No, that's not
No?
quote of the day.
no, that's not quote of the day music.
Nah, that's a great announcement of the day kind of thing.
Okay. No, I don't have any music for quote of the day.
That's fine. Well, you can dream on that.
We
For
could- I mean,
now,
we could quote of the day.
the teacher lady quote of the day. Sports
this
quote
works,
of the day,
doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
do that for now. Yeah. In the end, it's extra effort that separates a winner from second place. But winning takes a lot more than that, too. It starts with a complete command of the fundamentals. Then it takes desire, determination, discipline, and self-sacrifice. And finally, it takes a great deal of love, fairness, and respect for your fellow man. Put all these together, and even if you don't win, how can you lose? Do you know who said that?
Teacher lady.
No, that's she.
That's
That's
her quote of the day, is
but
it
it's
not?
not her saying it. She's quoting
Oh.
somebody.
Oh.
I don't know
anyone?
who said that.
Eric
Jesse
Finkel-
Owens.
Oh, okay.
Jesse Owens in Teacher Lady's sports quote of the day.
She knows
Very
Jesse
cool.
Owens? Wow.
Well, no, she knows the quote.
What, did she read it in his memoirs or something?
On second thought, I don't think anybody serious should use this music. So just go ahead and turn that off.
All right. I'll just turn that right down.
Feel like that's working. You've got some. Take the weekend and come up with some good quote of the day kind of music. That'd be great. Hit him in the nuts, says Kareem Hunt loves Dean Martin. Turns out I was wrong. Keon went and checked. Kareem Hunt did kick her in the butt. It was Richard Nixon that kicked somebody in the head.
Joe Mixon, and it wasn't a kick; it was a punch.
Oh,
but
boy,
to
do
be-
I have my facts unstraight.
But to be clear about the Kareem Hunt situation, he did also shove that woman many times. He did try to hit her, but he was being held back and he missed.
Feel
Then
like a
he
kick in
kicked
the
her.
butt at that speed still hurts pretty bad too.
Yes. And also, you can see the size difference. She's a much smaller person.
Oh
than
yeah,
him.
yeah. Hefty Lefty says Mike Jones was smart and just told everyone his number.
That's true.
281-330-8004.
Mike Jones. Yeah.
Harvey
Mike Jones.
Putswaddler says, cover your mouth. They could steal your address. Well, that's right. Just like Dan Campbell tells you.
You got to use the play sheet.
That's probably how they got his address. He forgot to put the play sheet up. Big George says 3-0 Diamondbacks in the second inning. Looking good so far for the offense and the incredible pitching of Zach Gallen. See, right now it's the incredible pitching of Zach Gallen. He starts getting shelled. He's going to be like, fire Zach Gallen. Good God, sit him down.
I got to give Big George a compliment. Big George said something earlier this week, and it didn't start. It was a criticism that didn't start with fire everybody. I was impressed. It was a restraint for Big George.
Oh, geez. Teacher lady says, I like that music. She says,
we're gonna.
She's like, I'll share it with that other guy. Oh, she knows who that's from. I'm not reading it. I'm very honored that you read my quote of the day. I also shared it with my students today as well. No. Okay. Listen up, Teacher lady. You only share it with us, not with you.
Yeah.
What? How would we know?
We want the exclusive, and you're supposed to email it to me so I don't have to scroll around and look for you. So, but thank you for that, and we like it. But now it's time for another thing. Time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1985, Big George was born in Chicago, Illinois, with two happy parents. Weighing only 7 pounds and 8 ounces, Big George was born a normal-sized baby, but multiple years spent playing in Freshwater Lake next to a nuclear power plant caused him to grow exponentially throughout his childhood. Big George would go on to play high school baseball, and he'd swim the breaststroke on the swim team, but that's it. Now, when
I
you
bet
say
he did.
you swam the breaststroke,
Yeah.
is that a euphemism, or did you actually swim a breaststroke?
Big George.
I'm pretty sure he actually swam the breaststroke.
7 feet tall, Big George. He did not play basketball in college or the NBA, and he wants you to quit asking him that. And also, how's the weather up there? He wants you to quit asking that as well.
Obviously, the perfect answer to that, Big George, is if someone asks you how the weather is up there, you spit on them and tell them it's raining.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. I'll never ask it again. I promise.
Yep. That's true.
You realize if he just turned around and farted, it'd be right in your face.
Oh, yeah.
He's at the height. A lot of people, it's right there. It's in the mouth.
If you got it, look, you could also tell him it's cloudy after a fart. There's so many options for you. So many options.
Warfare. Why not? Bruno Baller says, "Happy birthday, Big George." Happy birthday, Big George. By the way, how old are you now? I've known George for a lot of years.
I think he's a very tender 31.
No, he's an accomplished lawyer. He's got to be at least 35 by now. I'm guessing 35. Anyone want to guess? I got 35. Randy says 31. How about you, Keon?
You know what? I'll say me and Big George are the same age. I'll go 34.
34. I say 35. George, how the hell old are you? Moist One says, if the fart is face level, then that other thing is too. I mean, that was the nicest way he could have put it.
He really could have. I mean, it's the Moist One. I'm shocked.
Oh,
level of
you know
care.
what? We had the date. It's right there. George is 39 years old today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Big George.
Hefty Lefty worked it out. He says next year is the big 4-0. We should have a remote just for Big George. We should have a birthday remote for Big George. He's
Damn
cool.
right we should.
It's not cool enough to do outside yet, but we could do it indoors.
Yeah.
Move your ass back to Arizona, George, and we'll do a remote for you next year. Hey, and Sir Drives a Lot says, "Hey, my birthday was Tuesday." Yeah, but you're not tall, so we don't. Happy birthday, Sir Drives a Lot.
It's fall.